Welcome.
I think we can barely see Ben. Ben, can you slide like? I know you guys, everybody slide like slightly down. I know Caleb, you're like kind of already on the corner. But
Yeah, I'm already on the corner.
You just want me starting?
just give a little cozy.
Don't worry, guys. There may or may not be a solution to this soon.
Alright, there we go. Okay. Welcome back
No.
to Elendel. Last week, we had exited the mountain, and one of our party members, Josh, can you hear everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Josh, I love you.
One of our party members felt the tug at his heartstrings, and by heartstrings I mean the finger around his neck, and it was pulling him down the mountain, and our lovely dwarf cleric decided to leave the party to pursue his own desires.
Fantasies. Not permanently. He saw it go.
Just for that evening or afternoon, he decided to go down the mountain, and I'm sure he'll tell us what he found. So the rest of the party decided to traverse up the mountain and came across their old friend Beetle, to which Akalius, would you like to give us a recap of what happened?
Well, you see, there's this shitty-ass goblin who tricked us and almost got us killed by a basilisk cave. We, as a group, agreed to basilisk these nuts. But I apologize. This is a very professional stream. But as a group, we decided to follow this goblin, even though me and my lovely dwarf friend Gorram over here both know mountains. But we thought we'd follow this goblin on a journey of sorts.
Sounds stupid.
And a stupid thing that everybody agreed to, might I add.
True.
And then we followed him. He led us into a trap. We killed a basilisk. Then he disappeared as he was giggling and cackling. We found him outside near the sanctuary, trapped under a big structure, and he offered to help us find what we're looking for if we saved him. And Roz gave him the crackdown, literally, and cracked his fingers.
Broke his fingers.
And
one by one.
And I poetically asked him if he would, if he would promise he would never lie to us again. He said yes, and I said I can guarantee that. And I drove my spear into his brains.
We took his gold.
Nice. I did not know that.
Yeah, killed Beetle.
Good.
What you did not know is that had you let Beetle help you, he would have given you clues about the stone garden that you're now in.
So you're saying there's actions for our consequences?
There are actions for your
I
country.
just read the strategy guide to the Legend of Zelda for the Water Temple, and it kind of just.
It helped you out?
Okay.
Right. They then traveled into a giant stone garden. What's up?
Your camera's just showing your ear and your shoulder.
Okay.
It's a bit short.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just showing your ear. Yeah,
because it kind of moved.
yeah, it's just your ear and shoulder right now.
Cool.
So.
Alright, tell me how that looks. You can look over my shoulder. And tell me
Oh yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see so much more of your other ear.
Yeah. Now I can see your ear and your chin now.
Wait, really?
No, you're good. I was kidding.
Alright, so you traveled into the stone garden where you quickly discovered that it was a giant puzzle, pretty much. Killed some gargoyles, pressed a couple pressure plates, Boddynock got sucked on by a dark mantle again.
Nice.
You got some hay.
If there isn't a dark mantle, it's not a Dungeon Diaries.
That's true.
It's not an Elendel campaign.
So where we are currently, we have just cleared out one of the little mini coliseums with the 5 coffins filled with the dead skeletons of the you don't really know who they were, but they were attacking you, protecting the pressure plate, and you discovered that placing weight on the pressure plate brings down the doors to the center room slightly, and that is where we will pick up
And
today.
we've seen everything.
You've
like
seen
how,
everything on each side. Your eyes can see. It's the middle of the afternoon. It's bright and sunny. As the party is sitting around after a short rest, after defeating a few gargoyles and a bunch of skeletons, you hear the familiar jangle of armor and steel shuffling into the garden.
Into the garden?
Yes, into the garden.
Oh, this is outdoors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like a sunken.
It's like a sunken garden. Like it's basically open. Everything's open air.
Okay.
And as you look back towards the entrance, which you can barely see from where you are, and also where Jimmy and Sasha is, You see a familiar face.
Oh my god.
And up walks Gorram, who has been MIA up until this point. Gorram, would you like to tell them what you've been doing?
Scratch my head now. Where's do I see Beetle anywhere?
No, Beetle, the Beetle death. You would have passed him on the way. You would have seen his body on the way.
His remains.
I had Beetle's head with me. I picked up his head.
Okay.
Those fucking goblins. They're on the ground. What'd I miss?
Who the fuck are you?
Stab one! I kind
Did you see
of.
me critters on the way in? Yeah, did I see?
Yeah, they were right out front playing. Like,
What condition were they? Okay.
they're okay. Yeah, they were just playing around out front
I
by the door.
saw your critters. Oh, that's good news. Are they doing well? Fuck if I know.
I hacky sacked the goblin's head,
Okay.
and I just kind of kick it.
Okay.
And
Can you roll for athletics?
athletics.
-1.
So yeah, that's a 20.
Oh, okay, good. You're very proficient at hacky sacking goblin heads.
I want its blood just like.
Just so you know, it has a giant spear like marking. Like it had a.
Oh, I know.
Spear
I'm
there.
using it too, man. I'm fucking going at it.
Yeah, there's just blood going everywhere.
Nice.
And then just.
Would somebody like to tell Gorram the outline layout of the map? So
If you see a plate, you step on it.
It's
So Gorram, just to give you an idea of what you're looking at on here, because there's a key over here, but obviously they're very familiar with it. The blue on the map that's not water is something that can be interacted with.
Okay.
For instance, this was a pressure plate that activated this giant statue that was a gargoyle.
Okay.
Once it animated and they beat it, there was a hole inside the bottom of the base, and there was a little note that gave them some insight on what to do. The same thing with the blue in the center. These are doors. These are the ones that these pressure plates here in the corner are starting to bring down. The pressure plate up here was one that actually emptied out all of the water in this little pool and revealed a dark mantle that sucked on Boddynock's face.
gave him the old suck on.
Suction marks all in your face.
Yeah. What they're able
There's a
to
hole in my hat.
what they've been able to determine based on the journal readings from before is that they need to get into this room, and the only way to do so is to get through these doors.
Okay.
These three
Which they're
doors.
kind of half open,
They're like
down.
pretty much like
Are they metal, stone, wood?
they're giant stone doors, yeah, and it's pretty much impenetrable. And so that's where you guys are.
Only good things happen.
The group is together. Distance, where is Jimmy? He's still out by the entrance, right?
He's wrestling with the.
You just hear like a honey badger
Yeah,
just
they're
tearing
just
into
kind
some
of chilling
flesh.
out there. Did we do like a full rest this last campaign?
Short
Yeah.
rest.
Like
Yeah.
heal up and eat, prepare spells?
Yeah. All the spells, all your spells are back or are prepared.
And I don't think anybody used a potion last week, right?
No.
Don't forget you have a potion.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Alright, cool.
I also have a potion.
Okay.
I feel like I'm missing
That was
something.
fun. Let's go kill some more skeletons.
So
I just cursed you dice.
Should we split up again?
I'm sorry. Horrible.
All right.
At least
So,
we don't wanna go this
I mean,
way.
but there might be something in here we need. You never
Yeah,
know.
but we don't want to go here because of those gargoyles.
Yeah.
So you guys are
So just go
you're
around.
catching up. You're catching up Gorram. You want to give him like any strategy or what you guys are planning on doing?
What I can tell is that we have to get to this other place, probably fight some more beasties in there, put weight on there, and then all the doors will open.
Did you get hired by the Beatles? What happened to that rough like tone?
So,
almost already-
in there.
Is that like a creature on that one? Or
No. So
we
basically,
took
what they
the
did.
gargoyles, and then we put them on the plate.
And I, knowing that there was something hidden in the hole, cleverly stepped on this plate, knowing it would activate that gargoyle.
He's actually retarded.
Okay.
So
I can't help it. I have ADD.
We're gonna all re-roll for initiative, by the way, because I lost the initiative for last week.
7.
Oh, we're rolling right now.
tomorrow,
No,
For
just
what?
we're re-rolling our initiative for that was. We're gonna pretend it was what was from last week. Is that all right? What was it?
mine was 30, minus the 0.
What was yours? 3.
Yes.
Okay.
8.
8.
Yeah.
7.
Damn,
I got 7 too.
All right, you guys
Yeah.
re-roll.
Damn, we fucking are.
Reroll?
We're
Reroll?
We're
Yeah.
high rollers.
You guys re-roll.
We're just
6. 11.
rollers over here.
14.
Oh,
Not a single person over 15.
I got a 60.
minus.
Right, you're fired.
Was you at 11?
You're fired.
Yes.
You said 11 Boddynock, right?
You should use, yeah.
Okay.
You should use this one.
Alright.
That's why I got the
There's
name
a
on it.
few.
You should do it again. Right?
Critical Role, you watching this?
First one I haven't watched.
Natural 20, baby.
Now I'm conflicted.
Alright. Alright, so this is where you guys are.
You're welcome.
Everybody's here. Now remember, we're not in combat, even though the initiative is going to continue.
Yeah.
It's going to pretty much reset since the rest, so the initiative that we just rolled is now going to continue through the rest of this encounter.
So did I get a 7 or 11?
You got an 11.
Okay.
Alright.
So what are we doing?
I say we go over this way and we get on that pressure plate and fight.
Yeah. I'm going.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna go with him.
Alright, is everybody going?
Is that deep water? Like,
No, it's,
No,
about, it's
it's-
about a foot deep.
oh, okay.
It's deep for Ben, but nobody else.
Alright, lay down in the grass again.
Body knocks back to the
He's
ground.
just kind of in the corner looking over the rail.
Distance, what are you doing?
Ooh.
Uh,
Can you jump on
I'm gonna follow Akalius.
What is it? Platform, right?
It's just, yeah, it's stone. You're going to follow Akalius? Gorram, are you going with them?
Yeah.
But look, is this one open? That one's
No,
like
they're
they're all like pretty much halfway down, but you
So-
can't get up in there.
We're thinking when we step on the other plate that they're going to open fully.
Right.
Yes,
That's the idea.
idea.
Oh yeah, I'll follow him over.
Okay, everybody's going over. All right, what's the order that you'd like to go in?
I'll go
These are all
first.
10 feet, right?
Yes.
The squares?
Yeah.
You can. Your movement's free, so.
I know, but I was thinking of doing something really cool. I don't
Okay.
think I can manage it.
Yeah. Okay. What would you like to do?
Nah, don't worry about it. In that case, I can, I'll actually...
Why don't you just bounce, Josh?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Okay.
I was thinking of, like, hopping off the wall and then getting to the other grass. you
Wall
know what I
run?
mean? Yeah.
I mean, you could try.
But I don't have
You
the
can
movement.
certainly try.
Buddy's so drunk he's like serpentining across the wall.
You just fall space version of the water.
I'm gonna go wading. I'm gonna...
Okay.
I'm just gonna go across onto this grass and then I'm gonna lay down there.
Okay. Wait. Did you wade through there?
I did, through
Okay.
the water.
You roll a dexterity save.
You could have rode him
Here
at
comes this goddamn fucking dark mantle. I got a 9. Wait, oh
Your
wait,
dexterity
saving throw. So that should be an 11.
That's a 6.
Okay.
I was gonna say it should be
Yeah.
like a 14.
Oh.
My dex be high, bruh.
What is it?
Well, it's your saving throw too. You're proficient in it. So if your
I
dex
know.
was 3, it'd be
That's
5,
what
so it'd be
I'm saying.
14.
It's a 6.
Oh, I thought you said 9, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said 11.
You did say
You
9.
said that you did
Did
say
I?
9.
Yeah, that's why I said a 6. Anyway, shut up, Dave.
No, I said 9 because I added only 3 the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what is it? An 11?
It's an 11.
Oh.
Okay. You're good.
I'm straight.
If it was under 10, totally was getting
So yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So you're walking in.
Yes.
Alright, let me.
And I jump on it.
Okay.
I want to be right behind him, pretty much.
Okay. You're standing on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I jump on that bad boy.
All right.
Kind of like a kid ready to go to the park.
All right. All right. And you guys are following in behind him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring on! And I'm just
So who's behind? Is that the order?
Yeah.
Sure.
Raz, Akalius, Gorram.
Oh, everybody should stand at a sarcophagus.
Well, then
It's too late now. You already jumped on the
I've
plate.
got my flask out.
You have the
I'm
flask
drinking.
out. All right. As Raz jumps on the pressure plate, you hear that same familiar two sounds: the whoosh of air and also a giant stone slab sliding.
Just imagine like Zaira farting is like the sound.
All of the coffins around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 start to slide open, and just as before, you see the familiar bony hands of the skeletons crawling their way out, just pushing the top of them.
this is gonna be so much fun. It was great last time.
Pushing the coffins open. At the same time, you can kind of, the ones in the back, especially Distance and Gorram can see over here that the doors that were halfway down are now all the way down.
Ooh.
Like, the magical ones?
You guys want to
Yes.
try going
Okay.
there? I'll take it.
Magical doors are all the way down.
Need everybody for the last one.
In that case, nah.
Are you gonna go in, you little twerp?
I wanted to go in.
You could.
I'm
Oh.
gonna go in. Yeah, you could.
Alright, Ben, you gotta reroll your character, so we'll see this week.
Is that what you'd like to do?
I do.
Okay.
I want to walk in here
Oh my god.
to right there. And I just want to look around. Can I roll a perception check? See what I
This
see?
hand.
Sweet.
Naturally.
Fuck, bruh. These rolls today. You really cursed my
I'm
dice.
sorry, man.
Bro,
Go home.
that was
What
rude.
did I roll?
What is it? I got a 5.
A 5. It's really dark. There's a lot of vines over the top of the enclosure.
Mm-hmm.
You can make out that there's a giant statue and a giant pool,
Mm-hmm.
but something's telling you that you shouldn't have come into the room.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to kind of just sit right up against the wall here
Mm-hmm.
and pull the flashback out and start drinking in the dark.
Okay. I would like you to roll a stealth check.
A stealth check. Alrighty, let's do it. What is it?
While he's doing that,
That's
gonna
a
go-
13.
13.
I kind of go, ooh, rock. And I step off the plate real quick.
Okay. As Roz, first of all, as you sit down with your flask, you do manage to like hide yourself into like the shadows in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty much unnoticeable at the moment. However, as soon as Roz steps off the plate, all 3 doors slam themselves all the way back up.
Oh damn!
Did
In
we-
the dark.
Did we see him going in there?
Well, yeah. I guess,
Yeah.
I mean,
I saw
Yeah,
pretty good that
Did you?
Distance and Gorram can see, because you were already looking back to see the doors go down. So whenever they went down, you saw
I think anyone
body
besides,
knocks of a body
yeah,
go.
anyone besides Luke probably saw it, or
Yeah.
Roz rather.
The doors are now completely, all the way back up, 3/4 of the way back up. You're in the dark.
Oh, that was just
You're unable to get
rock.
out.
Okay.
Damn, I love that rock. I'll step back on the plate.
And as you step back on the plate, the doors go down all the way.
Do I notice the doors go back down?
Yes.
I
You
go-
can hear them. You can hear
I'll
them
go-
going down. You can hear the stone going back and forth, and it's almost as if they're groaning. Like
Oh my god,
you shouldn't be doing this so much.
Cut it out, you fool.
Anyways, so are you standing on the plate still, Ross?
Yeah.
You're standing. You're back on the plate. So the doors are all the way down. Would you like to stay where you're at?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm content.
All right. So he's. basically-
For
By the way, every time your turn comes around, I'm gonna have you roll a reroll.
Where's Turtleneck?
So you know.
He went over there.
Turtleneck! Be careful! In the room!
The lids of the coffins are all slid all the way open, and out emerge 5 skeletons.
Oh no! Akalius skeletons! Who would have known this would happen? Such a fate is for all of this day. And then me and him are just kind of like ready to get out of it.
It's hold on one second. I'm gonna.
Are these humanoid skeletons?
Yes.
Yeah, they're just normal skeletons.
They're just a bunch of losers.
You're
What they are.
Warhammer.
Last time, Akalius saw some celestial writing on the wall and began to fornicate himself.
I believe the word is masturbate.
My sword's out, electrified, and I want to kind of like wrangle the skeletons to me.
Okay.
The old razzle dazzle. Get
Josh,
it?
what's a good insult for skeletons?
I don't know. My guts one is the main one that I use against skeletons. They don't have any guts.
Okay,
If I have any other good ones.
Distance said that joke before, and I kind of remember it. And so I'm going to go, "You're a skeleton, you have no guts!" I'm just kind of like flailing my sword.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
face
Face
palm.
palm.
It's the same here.
the double dwarf face
Hold on
palm.
one second. I gotta get the skeletons into the.
Feel my insults and writhe in pain. Feel my rage.
Literally, because I'm gonna rage.
Damn it. Feels like our group's larger than last week.
Not really, because fucking Boddynock left us.
Not that he took up much space to be
He left us.
Oh, dude, your hat's fucked up too. I forgot about that.
I know. And
It
I'm
has
very
a hole.
upset.
That has a hole in it.
I do have
Turtleneck!
You
I
do!
do.
He has mending. He can fix my
All right.
hat.
I cast
started
Dispel.
typing into Google insects to yell at, and the first thing that pulled up was Australian.
Australian! Your toilet bowl goes the wrong way.
All right. The skeleton directly in front of Roz. So, make sure
What's the initiative order? Sorry.
What's that?
What's the initiative order?
Am I allowed to tell you that?
You can. If you don't want, I mean, we'll find
I
out.
didn't know
Yeah.
if you knew or not.
Yeah, no, it's
I forgot what was going on.
yeah, no, you'll see.
We re-rolled, so we don't know.
Yeah, you'll see.
That's from the notes.
The skeleton directly in front of Roz.
Oh, I just meant us, not the skeletons.
Oh, okay. It's distance, Boddynock, Gorram,
Okay.
Roz, Akalius.
Thank
I
you.
rolled a 30 though.
The
Didn't you roll a 6?
Rolled an 8, I think it was.
Oh, was it an 8? My bad. Don't say I rolled a 6.
Wait, are you saying I didn't go first? Because I definitely rolled a 60. Like, we discussed that.
yes.
I didn't realize you brought in nourishment.
It's something I haven't eaten.
The skeleton again, right in front of Roz, takes a step forward, trips on this giant stone slab that's in front of it,
Hold on, my sword, please.
and falls directly on Roz's sword.
Yes!
Yes! Akalius is just like last time!
Taking five piercing damage, or bludgeoning, I guess technically is really what it is.
Oh, wait.
No, I guess it's piercing. No,
You want me to roll or no?
Wouldn't it be lightning damage? Because it's
Lightning damage, yeah. It's lightning
Oh,
damage.
true. No, I rolled
alright.
for the and the sword kind of like went through its skull, and so now it's just kind of like chattering its head around the lightning sword,
Just pull that up.
and it's kind of just stuck there.
I told you, skull fuck that thing.
It's distance's turn.
Alright. I can't really see the map too well of where we're at.
You're right in the doorway to this little coliseum.
They're the one in the very back of us.
Electric gazebo.
Gotcha.
You're that one.
Which one?
The one in the very back.
Right there, okay. Can I even get into the room to fight anything? Or
Yeah. It's 10 feet. It's 10 feet square, so yeah, you
can move past everybody.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's get going with this. I'm gonna hop in there and stab at the first and closest skeleton to me.
So it would be. So just so you guys know, the order of the skeletons is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is skeleton 5.
Okay.
Yeah, let's kill skeleton 5.
Rayburn! Rayburn!
There's a lot of skull fucking going on around
I'm
here.
gonna rape him.
All right. What are you? You're choosing to use your rapier.
Yes,
Raper.
and I rolled a 12.
Okay. 12 does not hit.
Wait, you rolled a 12? Is that with your modifier?
That was with modifier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that misses.
It's because your rapier is too thin, man.
It went straight in between his bones.
Yeah, you stab the rapier straight forward, and it just kind of just went right in between its rib cage.
It's under 12, I know that for sure.
Insane.
All right. Boddynock, it's your turn. You have to roll a stealth check for me.
Alright. That is a 17.
All right. So you remain stealth.
That's what I'm fucking talking about. I will still just be drinking at leisure here.
Okay. Gore, is that ends your turn?
Getting nice and toasty.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No, it should be good.
Okay.
Actually, no, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Oh, can I reach any skeletons from where I'm at?
Yeah, there's the one to your...
Number 5.
The green one?
Yeah, number 5 is
Okay.
within range.
Actually, I'm gonna I grab my holy symbol, I mutter a prayer, and I cast Turn Undead.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a channel, right? That's a channel divinity?
What?
That's a feature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cleric feature. 1 second here.
Okay.
Each undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet. Wait, how big are the squares?
10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, that's only a few.
Yeah, it would only hit.
these. This one, and this one. Not all 5.
I'm gonna move
You can move forward into it and hit all
forward. Can I?
Yeah.
I would like to do that.
of them. So if you stand on the plate where Roz is standing, you can hit all of them.
Okay, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Gorram!
Let's see.
Look at the skeleton!
Each undead that you can see or hear within 30 feet of you must make a Wisdom saving throw, DC 12, If a creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage.
What does turn mean?
A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
It also can't take any reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from the effect.
Nice.
Cool.
So everyone that fails,
Yeah, DC 12. Yeah.
DC 12. And that's
Wisdom.
wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom. I think that's good. And dead have shitty wisdom.
I mean, he has no. They have no brains. How smart can they be?
I'm gonna name my skeleton Skull.
DC 12.
Well,
I mean, Raz has no brain, and he's pretty smart.
Define smart.
I mean, he says he's intelligent, so I mean, we just gotta take his word for it, you know?
So does our
I can cast spells! I read a book once.
Are you sure it was a
Alright.
book? Are you sure it was nothing?
Oh, yeah.
It was a coloring book. It was a mama book.
this one is turned. Turned. This one passed. This one is turned, and this one passed.
So-
Wait, so is this the one I have in my...
This is the one you
So are
have.
they alive
that
now and they help us?
No, they're just trying to get an escape. Like,
So 2 pass?
Oh.
they won't attack. They won't attack or anything. They just
Yes.
So that,
This one
Trying
passed.
to get the fuck out.
And
Yeah.
so 3 and 5 passed.
3 and 5 pass.
does that give us advantage on there?
You say it gives advantage turn?
The only thing that they can do now is try to escape.
Yeah, they try to escape.
So if anything, there's opportunity
So-
attacks you could have.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a fear spell almost. Like,
Yeah. So basically, and that doesn't end your turn, right? Or is that just your action?
That was an action.
Okay.
I believe it's an action.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah, it is.
That's OP.
I do have bonus actions, but
Okay.
I think I'm going to finish my turn.
Okay.
Talk about.
Is it though? Is that what you're talking about? You drunken little shit.
Wait, what is this? Oh,
That's-
you're facing this way.
Oh, okay.
You're facing this one. So this one is stuck on your sword right in front of you.
Okay, cool.
This one here, just immediately fearing for its life, with the divinity that Gorram struck into it, sprints for the closest exit.
I'll do an opportunity attack.
Okay, it's right past you. You can move
25.
20. Okay, yeah.
It's 15 damage.
You have +7 to hit.
I get 2 from dueling.
Wait,
I get
15 to hit.
15 damage.
15 damage. Okay, you want to. 15 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. You have the one on your sword still.
Yep.
You can get rid of both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes!
Dude, you should literally lift the head off of it and then club the other one with the head still on the
I'm thinking about
sword.
making that shit literally my handlebar. Like the skeleton just.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
Question: if I do, will you still make it alive? Can the head still like?
I mean, yeah, for whatever reason.
Okay.
For whatever purposes.
So when the sword in there, I'll kick the body off.
Mhm.
So that way it's just the head in
So
there.
what you're saying is you did a body knot.
I did a body
I'm
knot.
waiting for it.
So I'll kick his body, like decapitating him,
Mhm.
and then as the one comes around me, I'll kind of just spin around, and then with the skull head on the sword, I'll just kind of smack them with it,
Mhm.
and then they'll just kind of both explode.
Both zombies are now ashes. Oops.
Oh my god!
So it's Ross.
What's happening to me?
Both of them are ashes on the floor. It's also Roz's turn. The star.
So he's on the plate, right? So if I get off, he's good.
Yeah. If you get off, I mean, yeah.
So this one passed, so I'll go ahead and attack this one.
Okay. Go ahead.
21.
Okay.
That's 10.
10 damage.
10 light
Okay.
damage.
Where are you hitting it?
I'll kind of do it's booming blade.
Booming blade.
Yeah, so just thunder, and then I'll just kind of go for the legs a little bit down, and then strike down below him.
That one, you pretty much blew all of its limbs off. The only limb it's still holding is the one with its short sword.
Okay. And then I'll take the. I mean, you guys are probably gonna fucking kill him before. Actually, yeah, I'll take the chance. I'll back up a little bit with my remaining movement speed.
Okay, it's gonna attack you.
20 armor class?
With its one arm.
It only needs one arm. Rolls a natural 20.
It swings, but just knocks itself almost over because it only has one leg and one arm. So
Come get me!
it swings wildly and just completely misses. Nice.
And he's falling again.
Gorram, did you see that?
But it did lunge forward a little bit, and it does swing at you again a second time, and again just spins itself around and misses you.
Will it have multi-attack?
No, it was its turn. It was its
Oh,
turn.
it didn't move close to me? I moved out of its...
No, it moved. It moved. I mean,
Oh, so it takes 1d8 thunder damage.
Oh, okay. Alright, awesome. So go ahead.
It just...
Yeah. So it moves. It steps forward to swing wildly again and just crumbles. Okay, so this skeleton is now ashes as well.
Ashes and ashes.
Whoa, the darkness there, man.
The darkness. Okay.
The darkness.
This skeleton
Eats ass.
also being completely frightened for its life just sprints towards the door.
Are you running past me?
Yes, it's running right past you.
Can I make that attack? Oh,
Absolutely.
Alright. Want to attack him with my warhammer?
Uh-huh.
God damn it. I think it's a 7 first.
Okay. 7.
proficiency with your warhammer as well, so it'd be like a...
Yeah, I got it here somewhere.
3 plus your
Plus
strength.
6, so it's 11.
11. It misses. He actually is going to make it. See if he's right here. So he's going to be. He's going to make it right to the opening of the Coliseum.
Squirtle Peck! Are you okay?
This skeleton here is going to attack distance with his short sword. Now that's going to be, let's see, he's going to swing at distance with his short sword. Maybe distance is caught off guard because he just completely whiffed through his ribs with the rapier, and it's going to deal 5 damage to distance.
Dang!
Slicing him across the shoulder blade. And Akalius, it's your turn.
It's a skeleton, you don't need to go too far.
Does fighting have to just kill something with its greatsword?
What do you mean?
Like if you kill that one next to you, can you throw a javelin at that one?
I don't think so. I think I have to make the same attack, use the same weapon.
Yes.
So I am just going to attack the thing next to me.
Okay. What, number 5?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not going to rage yet because I don't see a point to.
Okay.
Just I don't want to waste it because it's one skeleton. But
Yeah.
I am going to attack recklessly. So
Okay.
that's a natural 20. So.
Alright.
So that is.
I just look over and see Akalius'
He was a
sword
natural
is like,
20. Don't even roll damage. Just how do you want to kill it? Just whatever you want to do.
So I see Josh, or I see distance. Sorry, I don't know who Josh is. He's poking at it and going through his ribs.
like super fast.
And I'm like, quit playing around, please. And I just whang, just right down the middle and just turn it into dust.
Crush it into dust. All right.
And then
Skeleton number 5. So that's you can also move then.
I don't have enough movement to reach that one, do I? I mean, technically it depends on how you want to do the squares. Because if I can get to that third square,
I'll let you go diagonal.
So
That one's crushed.
I get to this one, and
You
then-
have attack of opportunity as well if you want, because it's running away.
or advantage I already do.
That's
so
what I meant.
I'm
That's
taking
what I
advantage
meant. Sorry.
anyway,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
Quadruple advantage!
I'll roll it 4 times. That is a. I mean, I know it hits. I just want 23
Okay.
or 24.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 12.
12 points of damage.
Mhm.
Okay. It's pretty much,
Wait, let me do my math. That's 8. Yeah, 12. Okay, I was right.
yeah, it's
Did you roll
literally
the
on its on its
Not
last
range.
bone, as it were.
Ha!
I don't want to waste it because I don't know when
Ah,
we're
Wait, didn't 12
Ah.
And does that end your turn?
It might be 13 though.
Does that end your turn?
Yeah.
Distance, it's your turn.
Kill it with insults! Mock it to death!
Who am I?
Why does everyone sound like Batman?
I'm just copying him. 'Cause it's
Okay.
funny.
I'm Christian Bale! I'm the only legitimate Batman!
Because it makes me sound like
Josh,
strong
you're
but
muted.
stupid.
have to roll for it. Just what would you like to say?
Tell him that he's a sad piece of shit because he has nobody to love him. Nobody to love him.
If he had a heart inside his ribs, it would literally have broken him.
No, we need to.
He turns slowly, still frightened,
Right here.
and just sinks to his bony knees and just crumples into the ground and dies. You literally crushed its spirit, and it's now dead, prone in front of you.
I'd like to see if there's anything to loot.
You can roll a
Investigation
check.
Oh, 23.
23. You're the quickest one around, looking through all of the empty coffins and skeleton bones, but there's nothing to be found.
I kind of stick my head in one of the sarcophagi. I'm like, hello!
There's nothing.
Gorram!
Am I still on the plate?
You are still standing on the plate.
And he's not any longer?
He is not.
Okay.
But everything is
body
dead.
out.
Everything is dead around you. What would you like to do?
We have to go make sure that bottle squirt's okay.
Okay. So what are we doing?
I want to.
Yeah, we need to put some.
Can you grab the lid from the sarcophagus and put them
Ooh,
on
That's
the
a
plate
good idea.
so I don't stand here any longer?
Can we take the lids and?
I need who? It's too heavy for one of you. So,
I mean, is it too heavy for
Yes.
me though?
I have 18 strength. Alright,
what are you looking at me for? You guys are the party.
Ready?
All right, so me.
Who's doing it?
I guess me and Roz will
Yeah,
grab one.
yeah.
Okay. Roll them strength checks, boys.
Natural 20.
10.
10?
10.
Okay. So the two of you, you're lucky. The two of you go to pick up the sarcophagus lid, and it seems like Roz is doing all the work, but you manage to.
Because I have a lower center, I can't really reach his hand.
Roz is holding it up too high, and you're just trying to like get up under it.
Rod's got to lower it a little bit.
He's actually hanging onto it, but his legs are like dangling.
Just help.
But you do manage to bring it over, and kind of we're gonna pretend that this is the sarcophagus.
Okay, Gorram's there. Oh my.
And you stepped off the plate, right?
We dropped Elendel.
And you lay the plate down, and you hear that same whoosh as all of the doors are now all the way down.
Was my
Okay,
turn
I'm
up
sorry,
next?
Yes. Well, it is.
It's my turn.
Well, it's no
Yeah,
one's
yeah.
turn.
It would have been, yeah.
Could I take my turn just cause?
Yeah,
I'd like
if
to
you want.
do something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the doors are open, right?
They're open all the way now, yeah.
All right. I'd like to take off my hat and pinch off a little bit of fleece from the inside of the lining,
Uh-huh.
and I'd like to cast minor illusion,
Okay.
and I would like to create an image of myself sitting right next to myself, doing the exact same thing, just kind of like, reclining with like my feet crossed,
Okay.
and so it looks like there's two of me.
Okay.
Yep.
So now there's two
Yeah,
body
minor
knocks.
illusion.
There's two body knocks up against
Part
the
of being
wall
a gnome.
inside the.
Yeah, dude. Those are
I
sick.
thought elves were the only ones here. And elves are.
There's now two body knocks sitting up against the wall inside the chamber.
Those are cool.
I get the feeling there's two of them.
You can't see them.
I know.
There.
I guess
Now the
it's-
doors are open
Okay.
to the room. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna make my way
Yeah,
to the
we'll
room.
move
now.
toward. But as we get to here, I'm kind of going to see that this is a gargoyle.
Yes.
I'm going to kind of put my back against the wall and kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk through the grass to get to the.
Okay.
Avoid
There wasn't
that.
any loot on these skeletons and
No.
just bones. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it's bones and dust.
You trying to get boned?
So, are we going in, guys?
Yeah.
Are we going in? Everybody going in?
Everybody's going in. Distance. You good with going in?
That's what she said.
Yep.
All right. So everybody piles into the.
Does anyone
I
see me?
Not yet.
Okay.
Raj just stepped in the room. It's
You want to make
with the doors open. You also notice that there were some some sliding slats in the ceiling that are now open, and there's like giant beams of sunlight coming into the room. So
So
it's brightly lit.
What do we see inside the room now?
Just because now that everybody's inside there and the light is kind of coming in through the ceiling, you see a small pool of water in the center of the room. You can't quite tell how deep it is, but it's the pool is fairly large. It's almost 40 feet across. Next to the pool on the left is some sort of small altar with a stone book, a stone slab book on the top of it. On the right-hand side, however, is a giant stone statue. It's not like the gargoyles from the courtyard in the garden. It's humanoid. It's a giant stone figure.
How tall is it?
And it's holding a giant stone sword. So it's almost 20 feet tall.
Would you say everybody is in the room now?
No.
Okay.
Do I see Boddynock?
Do I see him?
No.
I mean,
Ross is the only one technically all the way
Well, I
in.
mean, we said we all went in.
Well, I mean, where are you going to go?
I want to get to where I can see Boddynock.
Okay.
I just want to get in to see what's in the room.
Are you sleeping?
So
No, I'm just relaxing.
you all got to file in and go through because it's 10 feet across.
Let me know when I notice Boddynock.
I'm gonna stay perfectly still and just keep keep quiet.
You kind of like, you're looking around the room and then you kind of like glance over and you do a double take and you see 2 gnomes leaning up against the wall.
Who's your brother?
Oh my god, turtleneck! Are you okay?
Sorry. I look at both of them.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm gonna open up my eyes and be like, guys, it was really nice in here. What are you doing? Making all this noise?
Oh my god.
Are you done playing patty cake with yourself?
What are you talking about?
Hey,
Someone's charmed him to be a drunken idiot.
Drunk? Yes. Idiot? No.
I think
looking
someone
around,
charmed you to be an idiot.
looking around the top of the room, you can see all sorts of markings in Celestial, all the way around.
Pull out your reading glasses and tell me what that says.
Go ahead. Can I read it?
You can read it. So what you see around the top is more names. You see names of what you can probably determine are famous people. Like famous as in they were powerful or important.
Oh my god, it's Miley Cyrus. Donald Trump!
Are the sarcophagus that are in here, the coffins that are in here, do they look the same as the ones that were out there, or are they nicer?
Yeah, no, they are. You could say they're nicer in the way of like they're more ornate, but they're the same size.
Oh my god, guys, we're going to find more skeletons. I'm so excited.
Thanks, Mom. I'm gonna walk over to the book. To the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna look at it.
Wait, Akalius, it might be a trap!
I mean,
You gonna look at it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at it, see what it says.
You look at it, but it is in a language that again you don't understand. It looks like the language of the same markings around the ceiling.
Hey Roz, can you come here and read this for me?
I don't even know where I learned how to read, but okay.
God damn it.
And I'll kind of put on my reading glasses again. And then my voice gets very, like, prestigious British as I read this.
Okay.
Here says...
Alright.
Here. And I said a 1, no, 2, no, 3.
And Roz steps up to the book and says, and reads aloud the inscription in the stone slab that reads, "Where one met his end, another shall rise, like the crowning of the morning sun. Speak the new day and begin again."
Wait, say it again?
You can say it normal.
Yeah, okay.
Can you not say retard?
I was just saying.
I was joking, I know.
It says, "Where one met his end, another shall rise. Like the crowning of the morning sun, speak the new day and begin again."
Speak the new.
It's today, Tuesday.
I wonder if this has something to do with the prophecy that only me and Gorram and Distance know more about.
I just start naming days. Every day that's in the Elendel calendar.
Okay.
Whatever, like the weekday is,
Okay.
I'm screaming it.
Nothing's happening. Except for you're annoying everybody because you're just yelling.
I'm just gonna put my hand over his mouth for a minute. So we're gonna have a grown-up discussion now.
So I'd like to just get up,
Okay.
stumble to the altar,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to kind of like... How tall is the altar?
Oh, it's probably like 3-4 feet off the ground.
I'd like to climb up on top of it to where
Okay.
the book is,
Mhm.
and I'd like to kind of like throw my hand in the direction of the statue, and I'd like to say, "A new day."
Okay.
Oh my god, he's a magician.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens?
Nothing
Is
happens.
the
That was my best shot.
is the statue facing us?
Yes, it's
From
facing
the book?
It's facing the
Okay.
book. Yes.
And it says, what was the last part? It was,
It says, like the crowning of the morning sun, speak the new day and begin again.
Do you want to see if we can break the statue?
No.
Hey, Distance, do you know a thing about riddles and funny words?
Oh shit. Oops, my bad.
What do you make of this?
So, I mean, it says speak. What was it? Speak a new day.
It says,
Speak
speak
the
the
new
new day.
The new day.
What that means?
I would literally just say that.
I said,
Morning.
He did.
I said
He did.
a new day.
What'd you say?
Morning.
You just what?
Well-
You just yelled that?
What was the
More,
part about
yeah.
the crown? What was the part about the crown and the king and whatnot?
Well, I'm assuming what it means is about the prophecy about.
Roll for perception.
Ooh. My idiocracy.
You were saying?
Wow. All right.
Oh my
Awful.
god.
Okay. So
Can I get because of?
I now see like 20 gnomes.
no, you're literally just shooting off words in common, and you have no idea. You're completely like you don't even think it's a riddle. You just somebody said something about like days, and you're just
Cheesecake.
Can I make is there anything that I can see that would give us any kind of clues or any kind of hints in the room?
Roll a perception.
God, hopefully it's not the same. That's not too bad. I think it's +2 for me. 15.
15. So, listening to Roz just kind of spew all of this nonsense, you kind of just like take a step back and like kind of tune him out for a second, and you're looking around, and literally everything in the room, all the markings, all the writing on the tablet is in Celestial.
Can I do something a little wonky? Can I pray to get some answers?
Sure.
Potentially?
Sure.
Religion.
Would I do like a religion
Yes.
check maybe?
Yes.
8.
Okay.
God is not in today. Please give me a message.
You pray and you get the answering machine. I'll repeat myself.
Yeah.
Everything in the room
Yeah, so
is in Celestial.
Ross, say morning in Celestial.
No, say the new day in Celestial.
Yeah, try that. Both.
The new morning.
Okay, first of all, it would have to be in Celestial. I'm just assuming that you're saying that in
You
Celestial.
got it.
I think you need to pick one.
I'll say morning.
As Roz speaks the word morning in Celestial, the rest of the roof opens up. It slides back, revealing the rest of the sunlight that was starting to peek into the room. You hear that same familiar sliding, grating, air whooshing as all of the sarcophagus start to slide. But there's one giant beam of light directly on the statue in front of it. And as all of you stare at it,
Oh god.
and you're staring at it, just assuming that the statue is going to begin to animate, because that's what has happened with every other statue in the courtyard. A giant stone creature starts to climb up over the wall
Awkward.
and jumps down into the room, standing about 15, 16 foot tall,
Oh Jesus.
with a giant wooden club in its hand. Kind of saliva just dripping out of its mouth. It looks really stupid, but looks really mean.
Wait, is it actually made of stone?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I discern anything from this?
Behind you, in all four corners of the room, creep out skeletons out of their coffins.
Do they look any different from the ones
They
we
look like they probably were some sort of kings, knights maybe. They're wearing.
So can we
they're wearing a little bit more armor.
So they're more powerful.
Yeah, they're a little bit more like heavily armored.
Okay.
And you guys can discuss amongst yourselves, or I can kind of try to talk while I add these.
Are we gonna reroll for initiative or this?
Same initiative.
Well, this isn't gonna. This doesn't look good.
Okay. How about we try to push it into the water?
So nothing happened with the statue itself.
Nothing
but
moved on
this
the statue.
thing came
Correct.
in here.
The ceiling opened and the stone giant just kind of almost. It almost was like maybe something else opened somewhere else, activated somewhere else, and it climbed in from the ceiling.
I say we kite it and then just take care of the skeletons and fight it.
What I'm thinking, if everyone's on board with it, is if we multitask, and we have 6 of us, right, or 5 of us. I say 2 or 3 of us. 2 of us go one way, 3 of us go the other way. Clear out all the skeletons, and then make our way to the giant. Because that way we can all clear the room. Because we don't want all the extra adds. Because if we can solo the giant, we'll be able to drop them faster than if we're fighting 6 different things.
Agreed.
The giant, is it just stone?
It's a stone giant.
Is it wearing
Does it look like a monstrosity or does it look like a golem?
Like I said, it's about 16 feet tall. It's just a giant stone creature. I mean, it's holding, like I said, it's holding a club.
Because of my stone history, is there anything that I can like see from it that I would like know?
Yeah, you can see that it's mean.
That it's what?
Mean.
And then does it look anything like the statue?
No.
He doesn't like you.
Does it?
My friend doesn't like you either.
what I'm saying is, does the appearance of it look like a creature? Or does it look like handcrafted, like made to look like a humanoid?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it seems it's just like almost like it was in a wall somewhere, and when you spoke that word, it kind of just like came to life.
Shit.
Try to talk to her. Tell them we know her.
And just so you guys know, just for order's sake, this is gonna be skeleton 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Let's go clockwise.
What do you mean you know harm?
In Celestial.
In Celestial.
It just looks at you and kind of just thuds its club down on the ground.
So nothing we say is going to say it?
No.
Akalius thinks you're stupid.
Celestial.
You're not
It
wrong.
looks right at Akalius.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Come and get me.
Ushna Lukhara.
Let's go, baby.
Okay.
You just called his mother a turd.
Alright,
She might
where you
be-
guys are positioned in the room, that's where you guys are, right? Like, so we have Akalius, Raz, Gorram, Distance, and Boddynock.
So the way I see it is you 3 are already there. Might as well kill those ones and
Yeah,
then
we
me
can
and Ross
walk
can work
through,
this
yeah.
way. Depending on how the golem goes, we can vary our strategy.
I'm sure it will probably come toward us though.
But,
Gorram,
I mean, Gorm's right there.
which way are you looking?
What we could
I'm
do
looking
is
just
before
giving you-
we can
I'm
take
giving
care
you
of
the
that
benefit of the
skeleton, I'll
doubt.
take
I'm
care of
putting in the
golem.
corner where I
That's
just
Right here?
distracted.
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
time being,
So this
take
one
care of
just
that skeleton
this is
in
the
corner.
their sarcophagus lid just pulled open, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you would have turned to look at least at the giant and the skeleton there.
No, he's oblivious to that giant.
Doesn't even look at him.
It's a giant.
He didn't even hear it come in.
The skeleton closest to Gorram pulls out his short sword and swings, and you just shrug it off. Like it. Yeah, I mean,
You little bitch.
yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Do you know who the fuck I am?
And then Distance, it's your turn to act.
Alright, so it looks like the closest one to me is the one that's directly behind.
We'll just say that
Yes.
you turned around because you're not an idiot, so. Maybe you're not.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
so I learned from my mistake fighting the last group of skeletons, and I'm going to jam my rapier straight in his face.
Okay. Which one are you? You're going to the closest one, number
2.
1. Okay.
Oh, yeah, one,
That's
yeah,
one.
one
Yeah.
right there.
Okay. You can roll for the attack.
I rolled for a 18.
18 is gonna hit.
Alright. I also found.
If I move
Oh,
this.
well, I guess
Yeah,
I'll
I'm sorry,
say
yeah.
this first. I have a bonus action that I can do two weapon fighting that I could stab also with my dagger as a bonus action.
Okay. If you're planning on multi-attacking, you can just roll for the second attack.
Oh, also, when you roll for your second attack, Josh, just remember you don't get proficiency bonus with.
You don't get the damage modifier.
Yeah, so like if you land it, you don't get the extra damage you would get on your rapier.
And keep in mind, if your spell has a somatic, you have to put away your weapon first before you can cast it.
I don't think bards do.
No.
Most of their stuff is all
Okay.
purple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll your second attack.
Dagger.
Did he move, by the way? Did he move up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, no, that's.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So you're saying that I get the plus to the hit?
Yeah, just not to the damage. Whatever you roll for damage is your damage.
Okay, so I hit with an 18 on both my rapier and my
Okay.
dagger.
Both are gonna hit.
1d8 plus 2 for the rapier and 1d4 for the.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a raper.
Wow, you're a real.
He's coming at him from both sides.
Okay.
So. My dagger stabbed him for 1, my rapier stabbed him for 2 plus 2 on my rapier, so a total of 5.
Hey.
Woo!
That's 5 more than last time.
Oh my god.
Alright. So you viciously attack with first your sword and then your dagger, dealing 5 total damage to the skeleton, and you kind of just like, maybe you clinked off maybe one of his femur bones, but he's still pretty intact.
Yeah.
It's Boddynock's turn to act.
Off the bad juju. So I'm gonna kind of like glance over at distance, and I'm just gonna kind of like shake my head, and yeah, look at it. Hey, okay. I'm going to run over to this there skeleton and whack him with my fucking shillelagh. And let's see.
Just remember, blushing damage is double.
Oh, I know.
Look at that.
Right, it worked. So that is a 22 for the
hit.
attack roll, and I'm gonna follow it up with a unarmed strike,
Okay.
straight to the jaw, like with my palm.
Okay. Both of those are bludgeoning, right?
Yup.
And unarmed. Okay. Roll for them.
No, that one's only an 8. No, that's a 10. My bad.
Yeah,
Still.
that's gonna miss.
Well, I'm at least gonna hit him with my shillelagh.
Okay.
Give him that chalet.
That is a 7.
Doubled.
So
Doubled be 14.
Okay. And that's with the shillelagh. Okay, so Boddynock runs straight at the cornered skeleton knight. We call them skeleton knights because they look like they were probably some vicious fighters before. Runs right at the skeleton knight and just smacks him. Where'd you hit him? In the knee, right? He hits him right in the knee.
This is calling card.
How did he know?
Hits him right in the knee, just shattering his kneecap. You can just see you see the bone on the skeleton's kneecap just explode, and the bottom of his leg is just barely hanging on, and it's severely wounded.
If you need.
Bro, this thing's got like a health left.
If you need a good.
I'm just imagining this like Mortal Kombat like finishing moves. Just
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I wanted to do so
I
bad.
see him whack
The problem
Right.
is the problem is as soon as Boddynock clubbed him in the knee with the shillelagh, he kind of like faltered to the side. So when you went for the unarmed strike, his skeleton head just moved out of the way, and you missed.
Clever girl.
I would also like to.
you know what I meant by that?
The slow motion with the skeleton.
Yeah, and like Reese's
Yeah,
skull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
I would like to
Moving back behind distance.
hide behind distance. And
No,
I
that's
am my turn.
Behind the guy has 20 health.
I'm not doing too much better.
Hey, distance. Distance. Can you roll your rapier damage for me?
That's a natural one.
Yeah.
These skeletons fucking don't know how to walk.
Yeah.
What is it?
An 8.
Even 8? Okay. Okay. The skeleton literally just seething with pain as his kneecap just exploded under the weight of the shillelagh, hurls himself forward in an attempt to lunge at Distance with his short sword. However, Distance was still at the ready with his rapier, and literally just impales himself on the end of the rapier. You now have a skeleton knight hanging off the end of your sword.
Is it dead?
It is dead. Fucking natural one.
He killed himself.
Oh my god! During the one shot, these creatures were attacking Caleb, and they both rolled natural one together.
And they killed
so
themselves.
He decapitated one, and then the one that attacked was so furious that he killed his friend. Tried to attack again, but slipped and fell on his friend's claw.
I didn't get a kill. I did so much damage to them. I did like 30 damage a pop, and then they killed themselves. I was like, you fucking bitches.
Gorram, it's your turn to act.
Let's see. I'm gonna slam my hammer on the ground and mutter a prayer, and then behind that skeleton, a flaming hammer appears.
Okay. Where's spiritual weapon?
Oh,
shit.
shit.
I got some. We'll just pretend that it's his spiritual weapon this time instead of a hammer is Aurora.
Aurora, is it you? Is it you?
You got it? Okay.
The hammer.
I'm going to attack with that.
Okay. Is it a squeaky toy or a real one?
Ooh.
It's a.
No, I know. I was just saying damage wise.
I will just always picture this big, like ominous hammer that just. Yeah.
It's 15 to hit.
15 to hit. Will.
Hell yeah.
Strike.
Alright. It's a 1d8 plus 2.
Oh, do these guys look like they're wearing armor?
Yeah.
They are wearing armor? Metal armor?
9 damage.
Like leather armor. 9 damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so the hammer appears behind the skeleton, kind of like up on top of the sarcophagus. It just kind of just like sitting on there, and he's down below it, and then it just like slides a little bit forward and just BAM! Smacks down on top of his head.
Dude, honestly, that figure is like really good for Gorram. I like it.
That one? Right?
The shield from.
You said it did 9 damage?
Yeah, 9 damage.
Okay, nice.
And then I'm going to attack the same skeleton with my warhammer.
Okay.
Fuck yeah. I totally brought your paint last time too, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's alright.
Oh!
Nat 20!
Oh, nice.
Roll that damage.
Oh, that
Fucking, oh my god, this thing's gonna blow up.
Damages. Can't find things. There it is.
Serve it that salami.
6 plus 4, 10 damage.
So it's
20 damage?
Ooh! Plus double it again, right? Because it's bludgeoning and he crit.
Oh my god.
Bro, he did like 40 damage.
He's doing Akalius damage now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you can wipe it off the map.
Fuck yeah!
As hard as I can, just shatter.
You hit it so hard. You hit it so hard that the bones literally explode. One of them flies over and hits the stone giant in the forehead. It's kind of
Did it take damage?
no, it just kind of was like.
Who the fuck are you?
And that one's
Toes, bro.
Hell
Oh
yeah,
my
dude.
god.
Oh shit, it's bad.
You guys really took that getting that side cleared off really to heart. I mean, now I have so much to live up to.
What's taking you guys so long?
I haven't had a turn yet. I haven't got to go. I've yet to be able to swing my sword.
Not everyone can be a quick little bastard. What?
I know.
Fucking Boddynock.
I rolled a fucking 3 for an initiative.
The skeleton closest to Akalius pulls out its short bow. Wait.
Ooh. Little bone.
Yeah. Pulls out its short bow.
He's got a boner.
Yeah.
He's got a bone to pick with me.
Knocking an arrow into it and firing it straight at you. Maybe you weren't necessarily looking because of all the commotion, but it does strike you in the upper shoulder, dealing 6 damage. And that is not half because you could not range. It's not your turn yet, I guess. So I guess you haven't had a chance to. But yeah, so 6 damage to Akalius.
Deep down, Caleb's actually really upset by that.
I'm gonna kill him now.
Fucking damage.
Uh-oh.
That he didn't
Are
take
you angry enough
3
to...
instead of 6.
crushing skeletons in their home. We wear leather jackets and grease back our hair. And we kill things and we just don't even care.
What's happening?
Fucking nerds.
I feel like at every point in one of our sessions, a song breaks out.
I got grease lightning.
What's that?
It has happened recently. It's been like the thing.
The stone giant,
Okay.
seeing all of the skeleton knights, well, not all of them, but 2 of them getting pretty much one shot, obliterated on each side of the room.
One touch in the chest.
Charges at the closest.
Jeez, look at this guy. He always wants to hear himself, you know?
Wow, dude.
So for some reason, whenever my phone goes down to 15%, when it says like your phone's low battery, it turns the volume up. And I don't know why. Anyways, the stone giant rushes towards the closest enemy that it can see, which happens to be Gorram in this case. And it moves incredibly fast for a 16-foot stone giant.
Ooh, I'm imagining it in my mind. It looks terrifying.
It is massive, and it is lumbering towards you. And by lumbering, I mean it is very swift. Its legs are really thick. It's pretty much just all one.
It takes a step.
Just one giant rock. You can't really see its like where its joints would be. Like all the rocks just seem to like move and kind of like flow together. It's got moss kind of growing off it, grass on its head. You know, it looks like it just literally peeled itself out of the mountain to climb into this room. Dragging a giant stone club. Did I say wood at first? Because it's not wood. It's not wood. It's
You said wood, but
I was about to say, I'm like, that's your celestial shillelagh right there.
It's stone.
Fucking shillelagh.
Yeah. It's obviously a giant stone club.
It's literally like this big, and he's 16 feet
I'm just
tall.
imagining like Fred Flintstone, like fucking club in his hand.
No, I had the other idea where it was so massive and you carried it still, like anime style.
Like running with it behind me, you know?
It gets right up on top of you, and you see it coming, and maybe you think that your shield or your armor is going to withstand the blow, so you don't kind of brace as well. But it swings straight down on top of you, striking you once, and then hits you again a second time, dealing 19 damage.
Damn.
And it is standing directly on top of you.
Each trying to fuck.
I mean, if we could make our way around, we could flank it.
Is that water walkable in the center?
I don't know how deep it is.
You don't know?
Cannonball!
You can't see.
My AC is 20, by the way, with my shield.
Yes.
Okay. On my sheet it says 18.
Yes.
You probably didn't put plate mail in here.
No, that's on there. I just didn't add
No,
the
no.
shield.
Oh,
No, I got it. Yeah,
Okay.
20. Yeah. Ross, that's the end of the giant's turn. It's Ross's turn.
Giant's more of a threat than the skeleton.
I can honestly clear out the skeletons if you guys want to actually focus like the heavy hitters against it. Because at least Roz has magic and it's going to work better than my fists will against that thing. So I can focus on the skeletons.
Question:
Mhm.
Can I do a perception check to see if that water's walkable?
Sure.
That's like a 9.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Can I use my interact and
As your action?
no, just interact with an object as an action. It's a
As what? You want to interact with the water?
like kick a rock into the water.
I mean, you can, but it's just gonna pollute. You can't see into the water. You can't perceive how deep it is.
I can't reach that giant.
Why don't you get someone with spells? Oh wait, he's dead.
Bom, bom, bom.
Oh, wait, but we can jump, right?
Yeah, that's only like a 10-foot wide jump. I mean, you could jump.
Are these railings?
It's definitely a ledge, yeah.
Okay.
It's not like a railing. It's like a ledge.
Give it the old 1-2 eat, my dude.
I would make you roll for it if you tried to jump over it. So.
Oh god.
An athletics check.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have pretty baller athletics. I have like 7 athletics.
Wow.
Same.
I mean,
Alright, boys, let's do it. I'm jumping over that ledge.
all right.
Let's go!
13? Oh no, sorry, yeah, 13.
All right. Okay. I don't know if I want to give it to you or not. No, and kind of land on the other side. You do one of those, and then you fall backwards into the water.
Cannonball.
The water's only 1 foot deep.
Shit! Alright, get back up and walk.
That's amazing.
Damn it! Do I get advantage?
Yeah.
Yes. I'll just go ahead and attack with Booming Blade.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Woo!
Okay.
Alright.
Oh my god.
You loved it.
Cuts off on hand.
Alright, so that is 26 lightning damage.
26 lightning damage. You want to describe that hit for me, please?
I'm really mad I didn't make that jump and it's your fault because you were across the ledge. Ah!
And I'll just kind of, fucking, I'll go in like right across the back downwards, and then lightning, thunder, and then
How much
just,
did you say?
26.
26.
6 plus 7 is 13 times 2 is
Damage.
26.
That's double because of the nat 20.
But I thought the way crits work is it's only 6 plus 6 multiplied then added.
No.
Provision.
No.
We're doing total. We're doing
Oh,
total,
that's cool.
double total damage.
Well, I've been doing it wrong this entire time.
Yeah, you're still hitting for like 40 the whole time. So.
Yeah, but I was still doing it wrong.
So as you crack the sword into its back, you almost feel as if like lightning strikes, and like sparks of rock kind of fly off of its back, and it definitely just like it kind of reacts violently to you being directly behind it.
Can I notice anything about the statue next to me?
No, it's just a giant stone statue of a man.
Just this one?
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a giant stone statue of a man with a sword in its hand.
Okay. Yep, my turn.
Okay. The skeleton in this corner runs straight at you from behind. What's your armor is what?
20.
20. Yeah.
Mhm.
Gives you the old behind.
Okay. Runs up behind you with its short sword and just clinks its sword into your back armor, dealing 4 damage.
Mhm.
You barely feel it.
Okay.
The sword just kind of like sinks in through the armor and just like barely nicks your skin. And it is Akalius' turn.
It's about fucking time. I can get next to Roz, right behind the golem, like, cause that's a 10-foot square.
Wait, what?
He means he wants to get like next to me.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
So wait, how much movement do you have?
25. So in this square, so that's 1, 2, and then 5 and
Well, it's half through there.
Can I leap over it then?
Yeah, you can try.
Roll for it.
I mean, wouldn't Akalius drown in that?
It's 18.
Yeah, that you make the jump.
It's
Come on.
1 foot. He's not 1 foot tall.
I'm still like 5 something. I think I'm 5'4" on my character sheet. I'm not like a super short dwarf. Dwarfs aren't like halflings. They're still like decently tall. Alright.
Between 3 and 4.5 feet is average or something.
Yeah.
My character's like 5'4".
Okay, so now you're behind the
Giant.
I was raised by elves. I'm right behind him, and I would like to rage,
Okay.
and then I'm going to attack with my greatsword.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get my advantage.
How much health?
Jack, you want some?
I'm good.
I currently have 14.
Ben,
14.
want some?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you, though.
Kevin?
Not good. 22 to hit.
22 to hit?
Yeah.
That hits.
I will need to use my divine fury as well.
Okay.
Alright, so that is a 10 plus. So that's 16. Alright, so that's gonna be 26.
It's 26, so that's like slashing.
Well, 8 of it's radiant, and then 16 of it is, or 18 of it is slashing.
Slashing. Okay, hold on 1 second. For some reason, I didn't write down what it what's resistant to, even though it's.
If it's a goal, is it like the gargoyles?
It should be.
If it is, it's just like me.
It's resistant to
To physical damage, yes. So that it would take 9 damage from my slashing damage, and then 8 radiant damage, so that would be 17 points of damage total.
No.
It doesn't resist?
No, it's not you. It's no, it doesn't. It's not resistant.
So it takes 26 points of damage.
26.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you hit it?
I'm gonna go right across its back.
Okay.
With my great
Right,
sword.
like almost in the same place that Ross hit it.
Yeah, so Roz is gonna hit it with thunder, and I'm gonna see that and just arc it up with radiant damage and strike it in the same spot. Just trying to break
So
it.
you've taken a giant chunk out of the stone giant's back. It's kind of every time it gets hit, boom, boom, kind of in rapid succession. Since you guys both hit it so quickly, it's kind of like writhing back and forth. And it's so big that it hasn't yet had a chance to turn around to face you.
What'd you hit it with?
26 points of damage.
No.
Distance?
Before. Like
Yeah.
it's armor class.
It's your turn.
I don't know, I rolled like a 20 something.
Alright, I'm going to
So I had advantage, I rolled 18, so.
kind of do a little sneaky crouch-like move, and I'm going to run up
Yeah,
behind
right.
Gorram,
Okay.
and I'm going to touch him on the back and cast my Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Level dose.
Okay.
Dose it up.
Oh, never mind.
That is 2d8 plus 3. Come on, boys. 10 plus 3, so that's 13 health to him.
13 health back.
Thank you very much.
And I'm going to pat him on the back and tell him that I saw the way that he manhandled that skeleton. He did some good work. Throw a little bardic inspiration his way.
Nice.
What exactly the spirit?
Gives you
That's
it gives
my
you
1d6.
1d6
To attack
whatever
rolls or saving
it is.
throws.
Alright, thank you.
Okay.
You're doing
and
a great
that
job.
is his turn. Boddynock. It's your turn to move.
Alright.
I mean, honestly.
Skeleton.
Yes.
I mean, I would say honestly, we can just fucking team up on the golem, to be honest. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like the skeletons are as much of a threat, because that thing hit Gorram for a 19, and he has a 20 armor class. I feel like he's way more of a threat. Because both skeletons missed, or they did 6 damage and 4 damage on us, so I feel like that's not a huge
You could
threat.
get behind him easy to get an advantage on him.
Yeah, 'cause you can move within small spaces of people, so. That's up to you, though. Do whatever Boddynock wants to do.
Let's drink, don't tell him that.
He goes and sits in the corner and makes a mirage of himself and drinks. He cheerses himself. I drink and I know things.
Alright. I'm gonna assume that I'm like actually in this square.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Boddynock really enjoyed whacking skeletons with his shillelagh, so he's gonna go for another one.
That's fair.
And he's gonna skip down this way, all whimsically. And he's gonna go "Ha-da-da-da-da-da-da," and he's gonna come over here to this skeleton. And as opposed to whacking him in his favorite right knee, he's gonna switch it up and go for the left.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a warrior.
What a trickster.
This guy.
He rolled a 5, or 7, correction. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna cast, or spend a key point to use Flurry of Blows. And he's also gonna throw a palm at the knee, and then if that lands, he's gonna throw a palm right in the other, like right in the groin of this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going for
That
the
skeletal dick.
So that's a crit fail on the second attack, and a 8 on the third attack. You fucked me, man.
I like how this is a real thing.
Boddynock is maybe a little too whimsical in his prance over there.
Bro.
That is 3.
I'm just imagining, like, in his mind, he's like super battle hardened and, like, you know, super anime style, like, shh. But in reality, he's just like,
Yeah,
He
fuck
runs
you,
over.
Leo.
He runs over with the shillelagh, and as he saunters up to the skeleton, maybe because he picked the not the normal knee that he goes for, he swings at the left knee,
You don't use
at
the left knee
at the left knee,
Ever.
and completely misses. And he swings so hard that he swings around and hits himself in the left knee,
Damn it.
taking 5 damage.
Oh my god.
Feels bad, man.
Damn. Alright, well, I'd also, seeing as how I fucked that all up, I am going to use my drunken technique to back off 10 feet.
Piece to see.
And yeah, I'm gonna chill there now.
Okay.
Has anyone gotten hit by one of these skeletons? I don't think we have, right?
I got hit with
Akalius.
4
did.
damage.
Akalius did.
I took 6 damage, so.
6 damage. Yeah, I'll end my turn.
Okay.
Yep.
They're not too hard to
You
do.
think about doing defense? Oh, he's got a bow though, so you can deflect missile technically.
Oh well, no, I know. I was thinking about the patient defense thing. Should I waste it on him or not? I'll probably.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'll use it on the golem.
Does that end your turn?
Yep.
Gorram, it is your turn to act.
Alright, I'm going to move my spiritual weapon behind him.
Behind the giant?
Yes, the giant.
Okay.
Attack.
Okay.
Giant.
With advantage.
Wow.
Definitely need that advantage.
Do I have advantage?
Yeah.
It's,
Oh,
be-
fine.
it's behind him.
And
Yeah.
it's engaged with you, so technically yes.
What is that?
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna stay clear of this left side of the table.
Dude, this is bad.
That's a 9 total.
I'll just be real with you guys. That's where I was sitting when I would roll on my fails. Right there.
If only we
You
had
are the one.
If only we had a like a
You just see like a black aura just like emanating from that area.
So both of us
tech
missed.
magic.
Yeah, that was a 9 total.
Okay.
Second one.
Yeah. Both attacks missed.
Put her there.
And then I'm going to.
You've been really killing it. But not really, because you're
I'm
not
going
gonna
to
kill anything.
cast
You're
guiding,
killing yourselves.
You're gonna
I
cast what?
almost took out that skeleton by myself.
guiding bolt at 2nd level.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's
Wait,
Yeah, I would.
wait.
I would not do that.
You get disadvantage in melee range.
Yeah, don't do that.
Really?
Yeah, don't do that.
It's a ranged attack.
It's
I
a
mean-
spell attack though.
Yeah, it still
Same.
counts.
Yeah, any range attack you do within a melee range,
Oh,
you
really?
get disadvantage,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Then I don't want to do that. That's strange.
Mhm.
Okay. I will just attack with my hammer.
Okay.
Go for it.
Remember, you have a bardic inspiration. Sorry, but I'm helping you.
Oh damn. Yeah. Not that my.
That wouldn't have helped though.
That would help us.
Yeah.
Oh, 14 plus 6, 20.
20 will hit.
Yes. And that's a 1d8.
Laying down the
Plus
damage.
4, 9 damage.
Okay.
And that will.
Where did you hit it?
Let's see, 16. It's going to be the leg. It's
Leg?
small, yeah.
Okay. So smacking him in the legs.
Hmm?
Okay. 2. Skeleton number 2, which is this guy right here, closest to Boddynock, almost let out a small laugh.
Damn, a small laugh.
He's gonna fucking regret that.
Maybe.
He rushes straight at you, swinging his short sword right down across your little frame, dealing 4 damage.
Damn.
Turtleneck!
Oh, he's fucking done. Did he touch my hat?
He didn't touch your hat.
Good.
He
Okay.
swung for it, but you kind of like moved, and it just kind of like
It
glanced off.
sliced your neck.
You sacrificed your body for that hat.
Damn right I would. That is Jiminy's home.
I
It's
mean,
a
now,
serious thing.
now it has a window at least.
Nah, man. He likes the darkness. He's a brooding woodpecker.
He's the Jakkar woodpeckers.
No one recognized his new feathers.
He molted.
The giant still seems fixated on Gorram, and with its
Hey,
giant.
Jack, I want to use cutting words with the giant when you're getting ready to roll with him. If you
Ooh,
have
there
it
we
already.
go.
Is that a reaction?
I believe so.
For
Yeah.
is it for anybody? Is it just when he's about to attack?
Yeah, it's when he attacks a player,
So
right?
basically says as a reaction when a creature that is not immune to being charmed that you can see within 60 feet makes an attack roll, ability check, or damage subtract that number from the creature's roll. You can do so after the roll, but before knowing the result. So I can roll a d6 right now and subtract that from
Whatever you roll.
Your attack roll.
Okay.
Dude, that's cool.
Alright, go ahead.
I'm glad you finally used that, Josh.
Go ahead and roll, because I just attacked Gorram.
We'll use his bardic
I
inspiration.
was trying to pay attention. I'm like waiting.
Oh, 3.
Take that.
3?
-3.
Doesn't work. Unfortunately, it does not stop the club. He had raised the club already, and as you shout at him, he's completely ignoring, and he's going to bring the club down onto Gorram again, since he just seems to be completely fixated on Gorram in front of him, ignoring the slashing from behind.
Bro, this thing doesn't like you.
I know, man.
It's probably because you hit him with a bone.
It's true. He has a bone to pick with you.
Just like the other one.
Yeah.
How much health do you have?
I'm currently up to like 30 or something. 27.
27.
What's it? Just 27 then?
Bringing the one club up and kind of slamming it down, maybe a little bit too zealous, or maybe because he's just been thrown off by the attacks in his back. The first attack slams down right next to you, but he brings the club up again and brings it down for another 19 damage.
Jesus Christ, bro.
That's only one attack.
The very first one, when he attacked him twice, he rolled really bad, or else it would have.
Oh,
Yeah,
we gotta fuck this thing up.
I mean,
So,
it's,
yeah,
it's
so
not
brings
bad,
brings the club down directly on Gorram, completely catching him off guard, and kind of just almost crushing him down further in the ground. He seems to have lost a few inches to his height at this point. And it is Roz's turn to act.
Seeing Gorram kind of get almost brutally murdered, and seeing Turtleneck fail and get hit, I will go ahead and envelop myself in lightning and cast Action Surge on myself.
Okay.
So I'll take 2 actions, and I'll go ahead and attack Booming Blade on that guy with advantage. That's 20.
It hits.
Okay, so first attack hits. I had advantage. And 22.
Second attack hits.
So that is shits.
Double shit.
Alright, so that is that's going to be 18 damage.
18 total lightning damage. Where did you hit it? In the same spot that you
Yeah,
just struck before?
Yeah, we're just carving.
So you're
at
just
his back.
carving out at the giant's back. You got rocks, shards flying everywhere, moss going different ways.
Shards.
You're definitely starting to put the paint on it.
Wait till I fucking give him the dick.
The dick.
The dwarven dick. It's short and stout.
That dirty dick.
Let's see the next. God damn it. It'll never die.
Best nickname ever.
Because it's herpes. Oh, what?
Genital warts.
Genital warts.
Skeleton here runs up behind Akalius, striking.
I'll attack with
You can't. You're not facing him.
It's the opposite direction.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I
You
thought
have your back to him.
it's as long as it left your range.
No, you have your back to him. He runs up behind Akalius, slashing across Akalius' back for 6 damage.
So for 3 damage.
Bro, are you raging yet?
He is
Yeah, I am
You
raging.
fucking raging yet?
Then he
Took half damage. Right?
took half damage. Yeah,
Oh.
at least 3.
Are you fucking raging yet?
No.
And it is your turn to act, by the way.
Alright. Round 2, I'm gonna just light up my sword and take some carving out of this man's back with advantage. Okay, that's a 16.
16 misses.
Rip. Shit. Well, that's the end of my turn.
Damn!
Wait, did you attack recklessly?
No. You already have advantage. I can't double it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Damn!
I'd like to advantage my advantage.
I would like to roll again.
I would just like to not use either of these rolls and use a new one.
Distance, your turn to act.
Kick him in the dick.
I'm going to.
Don't worry, we have multiple turns to
right,
attack. Misses all the
up
time.
on that sarcophagus.
Aye!
You want to do what now?
Hard
You
lad!
want to jump up on it?
Whack him in the knee!
Okay. Distance moves to the corner, jumps up on the sarcophagus.
Yeah, I want to basically let out a loud yell and kind of taunt the giant You
Okay.
can see the attacker make dexterity saving throws with advantage.
Okay.
So I will lose this benefit if I'm incapacitated. So basically, I want to get up there and try getting it to focus on me instead of Gorram, while having dodge active, and then as my bonus action, I'm going to throw a healing word at Gorram.
How are you trying to get? How are you trying to get the giant's advantage? You're just yelling.
What's that?
How are you trying to get his attention? Sorry.
Yeah. Basically, just yelling, making noise, like getting him to focus on me by being eye level with him.
All right.
At least a little bit higher, being on the
Can you
same
roll?
level.
Can you roll for intimidation?
Perform.
Yes,
No,
I
it's
can.
not really performing.
You think it's like the cast against
I'm
your
gonna scare the
advantage?
shit out of this
I was gonna say do it jig.
Yeah, that would have been performance. That would have been better.
Over here, you dirty ass bitch.
What is it?
I rolled a 21.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you definitely catch it. You took the attention off of Gorram being beaten to a bloody pulp.
Thank God.
So he's gonna turn just
The
slowly.
armor is just falling off.
Why did I come up the mountain?
I should have stayed down there.
The fingers just poking at me.
Told you.
This action is gonna be rolling, giving him a healing word,
Okay.
1d4 plus 3.
Okay. Is that all your
So
spells?
Huh?
Is that all your spells at that point then?
No.
Okay.
I will have one left.
Okay.
So I heal him for 3. Or
Okay.
no, 4, sorry.
Or
I heal him for 4.
They should do that thing where you just heal yourself all the way because you're a cleric.
Oh yeah. Because I'm a cleric.
Because you're a cleric.
Okay. And that ends your turn,
Lay on hands.
right? That ends your turn, right?
Yes.
Lay on hands is a paladin thing, no?
Boddynock?
Boddynock!
Beat the shit out of
Alright,
Alright, don't miss all 3 of your attacks.
somewhat sobered up. I'm actually going to completely ignore this piece of shit. I'm going to run over to this guy, seeing a good opportunity. And I'm actually going to avoid both knees. And instead, I'm going to kind of jump up behind him and come down on his head with me. With my
Okay.
shillelagh.
Okay.
So it's going to be one of these like... Hit him in the back of the head, and I'm going to roll with advantage since he's not facing me.
Correct.
Alrighty. Get ready! That is a 14.
Roll again just in case.
A
Maybe
14? A 14 hits.
Well, we didn't see
Well,
if you
just
get
in
a natural, you know?
Yeah, let's take a 14.
Okay. 14 hits.
Alright. And let's see, I'm also going to throw an unarmed strike in there.
Okay. Roll for that.
Yep. Do I still get an advantage with that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That is a 16
That hits.
and an 18. So we need 18.
18
This
hits.
fucking cuz.
Yeah.
So I'm going to crack him in the back of the skull with my
Okay.
shillelagh.
Mm-hmm.
And then right afterward, I'm going to actually throw a punch right into like the base of his spine.
Mm.
That's what I want to do.
Cox.
So we're going to fucking
Did you get double?
do that back.
I gave him the old.
That's what this.
That one's a 5.
Okay.
And then that one's a 5.
So 20 points damage.
So he takes 20 damage.
Right. Bludgeoning. Okay. 20 damage.
It's a fucking bludgeon his ass.
You crush the back of his spine, almost incapacitated.
He's almost, man. My life is full of almosts.
Just spend a key point, just do flurry blows and kill
Does
him.
that does that end your turn?
You can't hear
Yeah.
this
Okay.
section.
Oh, true.
Gorram.
Alright, I'm gonna.
Take a peek.
Is my spiritual weapon still behind him?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to attack with my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
With advantage.
With advantage.
17.
17.
Plus 4.
Okay. Yeah, that hits.
Also, do it now just in case you get that nat 20.
Yeah, the advantage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just want to make sure. You can never be too sure in this world.
Can never have enough nat 20s.
You really can't. If I could only get natural 20s, that'd be great. It's only if like, I could buy dice and stuff.
It's not. Okay.
It's a 1d8 plus 2.
Would the 19 have hit?
4 damage.
4 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
You really should.
Just
Yeah.
you squeak the hammer right off the top of its thing.
How hurt does it look?
It's the stone giant has been chipped away at. It's definitely hurt. It's definitely enraged. It's
Me too.
yeah. It looks like a giant version of Akalius. Get it? Giant version.
Hey. Like, comment, subscribe.
Is that a short joke?
No, it's a giant joke.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you gotta be this tall to ride these rides.
It went right over your
His
head.
attention is on.
It's on distance now, yes.
I'm gonna cast Bane at first level.
Okay.
And so that is just a save versus charisma. 12.
Charisma save of 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if
It passes.
oh bitch.
Yeah, because if it's not, then you have to roll a D4. Or
Right.
it's D4 against his rolls. But
Yes.
Can I move away safely? Can I
Yes.
disengage?
Yeah.
Alright, I would like to do that,
Okay.
please.
How far?
As far as you can get.
Yeah, 20 feet.
Okay, right
And that'll end my turn.
there. Okay.
what a girl wants, what a girl needs, whatever makes me want to do my
The skeleton that Boddynock was closest to, kind of upset that you ran away instead of fighting it. It pulled out his short bow, knocking an arrow, sending it straight through your hat.
Like through the hole?
No, it made a new hole. And on the way through, it grazed the top of your head for 7 damage.
Hold up.
Ow, that must hurt.
Hold up.
Do it.
Hold up.
Do it!
Deflect missiles.
So yeah, I'm gonna deflect that fucking missile.
What do you got to do for that?
So basically, I spend well, this is actually part of a reaction.
Okay.
So basically, the damage I would take from this attack is reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your monk level. So I roll a d10 and then add 7. If it's reduced to 0, I can take that arrow, spend a key point, and throw it back at his face.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna fucking do that.
Let's
Just
roll
Fuck
it.
him.
I mean, you don't even need to roll the
Fucking
d10.
hat.
On the bright side, you won't have another hole in your hat because
Yeah, the 7.
That's true. It never
you
happened.
technically grabbed it.
Yeah, you don't even need to roll the d10.
The 7 it took you. We're taking 7 damage.
Oh,
so
I
the
know.
plus 7 is.
But I need this.
So you can. Well, I'm just saying. You
I'll
already,
roll
you
all
already
that.
reduced it to 0.
10.
Alright,
Hey.
so you get to throw it back and do the same damage.
No,
with
if
the-
he uses a key point.
No.
Oh, you don't wanna
it
do it?
does use a key point.
So you don't want to do it.
Well, I want to. Yeah.
Alright.
Well, no, only the deflect missile throwing part uses a key point,
Yeah.
not the deflect
No,
missile
that's what I'm
itself.
saying. Does he
Yeah.
want to do it? Do you want to throw it back?
Yeah.
All right.
So what's it?
So it's a D. Is it the D8 for you, or is it
Yeah.
the damage that the arrow would?
It's considered a monk throwing weapon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Counts as a monk weapon for the attack, so I get a d4.
Oh, well,
I read too much.
That is gonna be a 6.
okay.
You almost gave him the same damage back. Fuck that
Hell
guy.
yeah. What a prick.
Shooting the arrow straight at Boddynock as it's coming for the hat and to slice open your head, you react quickly, grabbing the arrow, doing a backflip, and throwing it back at.
I wasn't even fucking looking at him.
He just.
and just throws it back at the skeleton, and stun just takes it straight through the eyeball.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Don't worry, love. I'll be back for you soon."
What a girl.
I've been waiting for so long to use that.
Yeah, we've had a lot of projectiles lately.
Yeah.
We've been getting sucked on a lot though.
Okay.
Check out that cave.
So distance. Tell me again with your dodge. That makes me have disadvantage on my
Attack rolls.
attack rolls, right?
See.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
See, por favor.
Well, he's got to move at distance, right?
Huh? What?
Because distance is all the way in the corner, and he's at this space right here.
Man, what? Let me.
Bro, do you see how big his fit is?
Yeah, you
Like,
might have
This
reached.
fucking guy.
He's only gotta move like a smidge and he'll be right there.
So smidge still means 3 opportunity attacks.
It's true.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's if he has to move though. Some things are like 10 feet
Okay.
reach.
Yeah.
Once he has a reach of like God.
I mean, it's only a 10-foot reach.
Being mesmerized by distance.
Distance dies.
It's Hold on. First hold. Time out. First 1 second.
Kiss me on the mouth then. Oh wait, what?
Who are you? Kissing on the mouth, how about that?
That's my mouth.
He really is though. He's just about to get like bludgeoned by a bunch of fucking people behind him.
he takes booming blow damage.
Oh, he moved.
Completely mesmerized by distance, the giant stone creature, eyes fixated on you, reaches back behind its back from where its body was cracking open and just pulls a giant boulder out of himself.
Smart.
And with one giant heave, hurls the boulder straight at distance, crushing him.
Oh.
And I need you to roll a strength save of 17.
Dang, it's not a dex save?
17.
It's gonna get a natural one.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Distance, you did. Ooh.
I got 6.
Oh my
The
god.
giant boulder comes straight at distance, who up until this point had a huge smile on his face, kind of catching the giant's attention, letting Gorram escape and healing him up a little bit.
Literally the squishiest of us all.
The boulder hits him for 22 damage.
Oh my
And then
god.
all he had?
And
Hit 27.
and knocks him prone up against the wall.
Earlier.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Distance is down.
I'm dead.
Oh my god.
So what do you got? 0?
Fuck.
Fuck.
Yes.
Okay. So distance is knocked prone anyway,
Is that
but at 0
conscious?
HP on top of the sarcophagus.
I
God
have,
damn.
I have no healing. Does anyone have healing?
I do.
I don't.
I do, but
Fuck. And Gorham's low anyway.
yeah.
I mean, if we can kill this thing and he can succeed on his death saves, like I can give him my healing potion.
Alright.
It is Roz's turn.
Let's wreck this fucking
Yeah,
guy.
I'm going to attack at it.
Let's
Okay.
wreck this shit kid. Because he's gonna turn his bitch ass around on us if we don't kill him this turn.
Yeah.
Hopefully
And you
we'll
get advantage
Alright,
still.
so that's 19
19 hits.
and 25.
Both hit.
Alright, so that's 13.
Total damage?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you just hitting in the same place?
I'm gonna stab him in the ass.
Nice.
Give him the old impale.
Does he have any visible like genitals or like
No.
anus?
No.
No. 'Cause I
You
was gonna
can't,
say,
you can't famous
I
him.
was gonna fucking knock his dick off. Of
Can I shrink and go in his butt and then expand?
So how much? 13 damage?
Yeah, 13.
Asking for a
I'd
friend.
like to do that.
It's definitely starting. It's starting to show visible wear. It's cracking all over his body.
baby. Let's go.
Okay, I will, so if I'm right here, is that still within his reach?
Yeah.
So then I don't get opportunity attacked?
I mean, you're still
If you
moving
move in
around.
front of him, if you move past him in front of him, he's going to attack you. You're behind him.
Because that's within his reach. I mean, he's
Because I can expeditious retreat to distance and give him a health potion.
but giving him a health potion
It doesn't do it. He can't use it.
Yeah, he's
I can't
unconscious.
I can't do a medicine check?
No.
No, you can do that. It's an action. You can feed someone a health potion. It's an
Well,
action.
he already used his
Well, that's
action,
what I'm saying. He can't do it anywhere.
and he would get opportunity on
I
you.
just want to. I mean, he has 3. He can fail 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys have time. I don't
Well,
know why I'm helping.
Okay.
I mean, if he dies, he dies. I mean, whatever.
If he dies, he dies.
I get a kid, then I mean, I'll adopt
So
him.
I can move back and get his attention so that way you guys can still get advantage on
If
attacks
you
on
move,
him.
if you move back, well,
I mean, just
That
don't worry about
thing,
it. Just don't worry about it. It's fine.
I am just saying,
You
he's
sure?
going to attack you.
Yeah,
The
don't,
skeleton behind you will attack you if you move back.
yeah, just leave it. It's fine. It's
Alright.
fine.
yeah, and my turn.
Okay.
It's probably better if he attacks me and I take out damage versus you taking damage. If he, I mean, he's hitting for.
Quick segue. If Thanos is a thing, can you imagine?
It's not going to be a thing.
Can you? I know it's not, but I'm saying, can you imagine how that conversation goes in the movie? Guys, I'm gonna shrink down and I'm
Give
gonna
him
jump in
that.
his asshole, and then I'm gonna get big.
That's just crazy enough to wear.
Hey, can you roll? Can you roll damage for your longsword?
Damage for my longsword?
Yeah.
Me? Great.
Great.
Great sword. Sorry.
I was like, I don't have a
Sorry.
longsword.
Yeah. Sorry. You have the longsword.
You
Do
want
I
a
add,
great
do I add my
longsword?
modifier to it as well?
Sure.
Do you have a long
that is
greatsword?
It's great and long.
10 damage.
10 damage.
Well, you do Divine Fury if it's an attack, right?
No, I'm not attacking. It's just.
It's not an attack. She said 10.
Oh, better do it.
The skeleton behind Roz and Akalius, maybe being empowered or seemingly empowered by seeing a giant boulder crush the small devil creature in the corner.
Like a bug.
Rushes straight at
Smeared on
Akalius,
the wall.
who hears his rattling bones coming and just whirls to face the skeleton, who impales himself on
Bro, these skeletons, man.
his sword.
He's not even like swinging at it. He holds his sword back and just
Yeah,
fucking.
I go to swing and stab it in the head.
Killing it.
Hey. Kills it.
All of the skeletons in this entire encounter have killed themselves more than you have killed them. I'm just throwing it out there.
Is it just me or skeletons aren't what they used to be?
It's Akalius' turn.
Alright, I'm going to attack this fucking giant skeletal bitch. Or
Stone bitch.
alright, well
Bro,
that's
how many skeletons have died because they rolled a crit fail?
So many.
Well, I definitely hit it this time around because I rolled a 21 and now I rolled a 25, so
Yes.
I definitely hit. Alright, so
No, that's a miss.
Kill it!
He actually,
I'm also going to
he
use Divine
dodged.
Fury. That's good.
Okay, you're using Divine Fury.
Good rolls, those are good rolls.
He went to swing and he said, no.
Thanks for the resub, Josh. I thought you already did that the other day.
Josh is gone.
Distance.
He's dead, remember?
No, he's just sharing his screen. No, that's the top of the...
22 points of damage.
22?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you hitting it?
Right in the back again, just going straight, just trying to chip it away.
As your sword cracks down on its back, the entire back of the stone giant just starts to open as it's like almost like coming apart into two separate creatures. The crack is from the top of its head all the way down between its legs. It lets out a huge ah, and it's very, very wounded. It's mortally wounded.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna, for my bonus action, I'm gonna call it a big stupid.
Take that, you big smelly willy.
That hurts its feelings more than the damage that it took.
And then I perceive it in Celestial.
What do? You say the same thing in
In
Celestial?
Celestial.
Okay, it doesn't speak Celestial.
I was gonna say,
It
but
doesn't,
it
it doesn't know anything.
It's big. It's a big stupid.
It's probably got an intelligence of like 4.
Distance is your... Okay. Well,
He has to roll a death save.
Yeah, do a death save for him.
oh no, it's his turn to death save it.
Is he back?
Distance!
Josh.
I think he walked away.
He probably went to pee. Alright, anyway, we'll let him roll in a second. It's
Yeah, it's
Boddynock's
already
turn to move.
Boddynock!
Kill it, Boddynock.
Alright, well, I'm really, really set on this skeleton. So I'm gonna run back over to him. And I'm gonna be like, I told you I'd be back! And I'm gonna crack him in the right knee with the shillelagh.
Alright, the right knee.
The right knee is right. And so I'm gonna
We're
do
going to
that.
die because of Boddynock.
That is a 14.
That'll hit.
And then I'm gonna use an unarmed strike
Okay.
to I'm gonna kind of like plant a foot in the ground and kind of leap forward with my my palm. I'm gonna shove it right in his rib cage.
Ooh.
So
Give me a little ribbon.
that one is also a 14.
That also hits.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Oh my god. Every time he says that, he throws the dice off the table.
Nice.
That's a 4. Like,
Okay.
do you want to see it?
No, it's I believe you.
Okay.
You wanna
So
look at
that's
my leg?
7. And that is 6. So that's 13. 26 damage.
Alright, go ahead and end that.
So
Just poof, just
So I'm
dust
gonna
everywhere.
crack his knee, and then when, like I said, when I go to like plant my foot and then like lunge, I'm literally gonna like leap straight through his body. And what I'd like to do is, since actually no, I don't have that much movement left. Okay, yeah, I'd like to literally go like straight through his body and like do a weird little somersault in the air and land right here.
Alright. As Boddynock just hurls himself through, you hear him scream, and then just plows straight through the
I just hear
skeleton's ribcage.
Ben's like little giggle. I just hear.
So I'm gonna look over at all of them and I'm gonna be like, would you all like some help now?
As there's no more skeletons
As
on
the dwarf commands facepalm.
It is Gorram's turn.
Alright, my spiritual hammer's still behind me?
Yeah. For now.
The hell?
I'm gonna drop the
I'm
hammer
going
Yeah,
to
man.
attack with my
With-
spiritual weapon.
with advantage.
Okay.
So that's 14 or 19.
19 hits.
Alright. damage.
Yeah, at least it did damage this time.
What's this killing?
The giant hammer winds up, and again you hear as it swings down, you hear it dealing 3 damage.
I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Yeah.
At first level.
Well, if it doesn't kill him, it will give us advantage if you turn around because you get advantage on the last attacks on it. So.
Yeah.
But, I mean, let's be honest. Guiding Bolt at minimum is going to do a decent amount of damage.
God damn it. No, I missed. 3. 3 plus 4, 7 total.
7 to hit?
Yeah. No waste.
It does not hit.
I mean,
I'm going to just...
Wait, did you? Oh no, Bardic Inspiration wouldn't help.
no. At max, you're still on it.
Oh, distance is back. You want to roll that throw?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
roll a death save.
Roll a nat 20, boy.
We decided it's plus 10 or minus 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, above or below 10.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me that.
You get a nat 20, you come back to life. So.
Yeah, you get 1 health.
18.
All
So
right.
that's a 1.
You get 1 in the save column, so you're not dead.
Okay. You're not dead yet.
You're not dead yet,
You're
Jimmy.
still on the ropes, though.
That ends your turn, right?
Yeah.
That ends your turn, Guiding Bolt.
Useless.
Seeing that the person that he had his eyes fixed on is now crushed under a giant boulder, the giant slowly turns.
I just imagine
Do
like
we
this.
do an opportunity to when creatures turning around
No.
faces?
No.
Unfortunately not.
The creature turns.
It's technically not leaving our
They have to
range.
move, yeah,
Into
out
our
of-
range.
Bring it on, you little piece of monkey turds!
Everything's going for you. You can tell by the look on his face. I saw his face, and I'm a believer.
Okay.
Not a trace.
1 second.
I'm in love. Ooh. I'm a believer, in a drum. Poopy pants. Oh. I don't know. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a dead.
How much health do you have?
41 health.
Killed him.
I don't think it's going to do 82 damage, so I don't know.
Preparing something.
As the stone giant. Wait, how much did you say you had? 42?
41.
41. Okay. As the stone giant slowly turns himself around, dragging the giant club, you just hear that giant, the club just kind of like sliding on the stone floor. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Does he still takes booming blade though damage, right?
He's not moving. She's literally just spinning around.
It's a pivot.
It's not moving. He brings his giant club up, smashing it down on your body. The first strike dealing 21 damage.
So 10 damage.
The second strike dealing 42 damage.
Oh shit.
So 31, so 31 points.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay, if you weren't raging,
Yes.
bro. Oh my god.
He's toast.
You would be like distance over there.
No, I'd actually be dead.
Yes.
If I
You'd be
wasn't
like-
raging.
It was.
You'd be
It
like
would have been
distance.
62.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
62 damage.
Oh no, yeah, I would be dead because it's half of my health.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have been dead. 100%, like actually dead.
Holy shit.
I would have rerolled a caster. Don't worry, we need one. Probably would have been better if I would have died.
Well, your health is 25, so you would have been alive barely.
Giant slamming blows from the creature. You can see Akalius for the first time, maybe since you've been together. Maybe not the first time, but in a while, seriously in pain.
You get gored.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know about that though.
Yeah, you don't know about that.
No.
What about Gore?
How much health did you have during that? You were pretty low on that night, right?
I had 6 health. No,
Yeah.
that's
Actually,
the
you
lowest
didn't you have really low during the Yeti fight too?
Not ever.
Not
close
that
to-
low.
No, I had like 20 or 30.
Okay, yeah. So, not in a long time have you seen Akalius almost maybe a little frightened after taking 2 giant club.
I'm just gonna look up Openman's day. That's all you got, princess.
And it is
As I was
it's
looking
Roz's
for it.
it's
Goring
Roz's
this,
turn.
the little like.
I'm just hitting that as I'm just bleeding.
Yeah, I'm gonna booming blade that shit, bro.
Okay.
Dear God, please, good rolls. I got 9.
That doesn't hit.
Dear God, good rolls to get to.
That's it? Is that your turn?
That's
okay.
it.
Akalius.
Alright,
You're luckily you're not prone or anything.
so I'm super furious, so I'm gonna
Got
attack.
hit with a club twice.
I'm gonna attack him recklessly. I'm like, now it's my turn, bitch. Let's hope.
I picture the one that came down, and then I picture like a side swing and knock him like right across the
It's
face.
a 26.
26 to hit. Doesn't hit. No, I'm kidding. It hits.
Please kill him.
He actually uses shield for plus 30 armor class. It's a unique trait to stone golems, and it doesn't hit.
Uses distance as a shield.
Picks up distance's body and just
20 points of damage.
20 points of damage. Sir Akalius.
I
How
want
would you
so
like
bad to
to
throw
kill?
one dart at this thing and kill it.
How would you like to kill the giant stone?
Alright, so taking all the damage, I'm wobbling, I'm hurt, I'm bleeding. I look up at it, it's all you got. I'm just going to take my sword and arc it through the ground, just cutting through stone. And I'm just going to hit it with radiant energy. And as I hit it, it's just going to cut through to the middle and just explode. And then he just goes everywhere.
How much health did you have?
He had 5.
Oh, man.
Dude, if I could have hit him with a dart and killed him, you guys would have been so pissed.
Just hasn't helped us with it once.
The giant stone creature taking a huge swipe from the injured Akalius explodes with radiant energy. Stone pieces going all over the chamber. And at that same instance, the giant statue behind you starts to emanate radiant light.
I attack it.
It does nothing.
I attack it again.
No, any attempt to move towards the statue kind of it's almost as if there's like a force field like pushing you back. You can't bring your arms towards it. You can't bring weapons up towards it. It's starting to glow. It's starting to emanate radiant energy, and Akalius notices his sword starting to vibrate and emit like this white light. And as he looks down at it, it kind of brings his hand up. As everybody else is kind of like pinned where they're sitting, where they're standing, on looking, Distance is still almost dead.
Distance is really pinned, actually.
Distance is actually pinned under a boulder. Everybody else is kind of like arms at their sides, can't really move or do much or speak. Akalius' sword is starting to just rise up towards the statue. And at that same moment, the statue, with his hand gripping the giant stone sword, starts to move as well. And the statue kind of turns towards Akalius and starts to reach out the sword, and the sword leaves Akalius' hands. His family crest starting to glow. And at this point, it's out of your hand, and your hand kind of flings itself back to its side. And Akalius' sword floats towards the statue. And as they touch, a giant, brilliant white light engulfs the entire room. You guys aren't able to see anything. You're almost blinded at that moment. And when it dissipates, the statue is gone. Aside from almost like an altar where the statue was, with a giant glowing sword laying on top of it. And your arms kind of just like fall to its sides.
I'm gonna walk up and grab it then.
Akalius approaches the altar with the sword laying on it, and there's markings underneath inscribed into the stone. You're looking at the sword, and it's your sword, only it's a little bit longer. There are sort of celestial markings all up and down it. You can tell because you can see the ones that are around the top, and you can recognize that language. But for the first time, you feel like you can understand it.
does it say?
Looking down on the inscription, you're able to read the celestial word that says Dawnbreaker.
I'm gonna grab the sword then.
As you grab the sword,
I'm about to jizz.
you feel this re-empowering radiant energy source and surge through your body, almost as if your entire life force is being rejuvenated, and you almost start to levitate off the ground, and everybody around you, looking at your tiny dwarf frame, I say tiny because you're tiny compared to the giant, your tiny frame starts to levitate off the ground, and these huge white celestial wings emerge from your back, and down your left hand side of your body and your right hand side of your body, these celestial markings start to appear on your skin, just kind of like almost as if they were shooting light out of your body, and it glows for a split second, the wings and the markings, and then they dissipate and you come back down holding this sword.
I think I've done it. I'm gonna take a few practice swings.
Yeah, sorry, Todd Howard from Bethesda's calling me. He wants his sword back.
I'm just gonna look at it, and then I'm gonna kind of place on the ground, and then kneel, and then I'm gonna pray.
Okay.
Is there any loot? I look for loot.
I would like to heal distance.
Okay.
So he doesn't die.
You guys gonna have to move the rock off of him first.
I look for
I
loot.
cast mending to put them back together.
I'd like to pop a squat right where I am against the wall and
Okay.
whip out the old flask.
Okay.
One of my.
It's no big deal, guys. I just have a giant, amazing sword now.
The party members that were around distance, have you told Rouse and Boddynock about the quest?
Yeah, they know about it.
They know about the.
Do I?
Yeah, I told you at the bar. That's the reason why you came with us.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
But like, I didn't know it was full detail.
Wasn't I gone?
No, you came with me. We told you from the beginning, and you started.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because you kept saying, "Yeah, I can't wait to go with the other quest."
So the party realizes that you found the first of the 5 weapons, and it transformed Akalius' sword into a new celestial sword. And just so for continuity's sake, his sword, instead of a +1 to hit, now does +2, and is a +2 to damage. He also has something called Celestial Rage, that whenever he rages, the celestial wings and markings that you saw will appear on his body. He doesn't actually get to fly, but he will look a little bit more badass.
I'll look fly while I'm doing it.
It doesn't do anything else?
Not right now.
Well, I can. Well, as you could tell, if you didn't realize before, I can read Celestial as well.
Yes, you can also now read Celestial, being empowered by the Celestial person.
He has to hold it. If he doesn't hold it, he doesn't understand it no more.
The dwarf is never without a sword.
What if it's sheathed?
Okay.
I never wear a sheath.
This is another aside. This is a passive perception is going to give you guys the knowledge for this because it's helping. In the place of the altar, when he picked up the sword and kind of was transformed briefly with the radiant energy, a giant purple and blue portal appeared over the altar. It's about 3 feet high and about 2 feet wide, and it's kind of just hovering and kind of humming. Like you can hear the energy from the portal, just like right there.
I look in the portal.
It's black. We should get distance. Like
Yeah,
we
we
would get distance.
roll a strength check or something.
I'll help too.
I need you guys to roll a strength to get the rock off a distance.
Can I get advantage now that I feel empowered with my fancy new sword?
No.
God damn it.
Can I have a look for loot?
14.
14? Okay.
Sorry, mine's like stuck between these things. Oh, I'm technically still raging now, or would I not be?
No, we're out of combat.
Okay. Strength check?
Yes.
20.
Okay. You successfully pull the boulder off of distance, who is not dead, but he's hurting.
He's squished.
He's
Healing word at first level.
Okay. I'm not even gonna have you roll for it.
Right.
I'm just gonna have you heal him. We're out of combat. You guys are gonna be able to, what you didn't realize that whenever the stone giant fell, you were all empowered with level 5.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
Level 5.
Hey,
Level 5.
Woo! his like arms twitching.
So you are all inside the chamber.
The P line level up.
Okay. You're hitting level 5. I'm going to take a quick break while you guys decide what you want to do. Now keep in mind there's a portal, right? It's humming over top of the altar.
Okay.
You also have the entire stone garden at your leisure.
I want to make this our base.
You
Are
can
the
decide
doors
what
still
to do.
open?
The doors are still open, yes.
I'm gonna go actually outside and go back to my favorite little grass patch from where I first started. I'm gonna lay down.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna sit with my back up against the wall.
Okay.
Don't forget to grab your animals.
Huh? They're still outside. Are we going in this portal? Is that the idea?
I mean, I'm about to jump through that shit like it ain't nobody's business.
You're able to do whatever you like. Let's see here. We're taking what's going to be considered a long rest. So spells are coming back. Your HP is going to be at full.
Is there any loot?
Roll a perception for me.
Perception or investigation?
Investigation. Sorry.
That's going to be a 7.
A 7. You see no loot.
I roll again.
Spinning goes into the circle. I see nothing.
25.
You see nothing.
Damn it!
I'm gonna grab a drink while you guys are leveling up and figuring out what you're
I peed on the golem.
Graph on the first weapon.
You guys get any cool? You guys get anything cool at level 5?
Feels so good.
Spirit Guardian.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. +2. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot our proficiency goes up too. Oh,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, +3.
Look at that.
Woo! What do you get?
Look at that plus to hit now.
What
With
is
level
it?
5. 8.
8. Hell yeah, man. I have +9.
With my sword. With my new sword.
The sword.
I also get +5 on damage, not including my rage. So I get +7 on my attack.
How'd you get level up so quick? Like, am I doing this wrong? So I go to
You just
manage.
hit. You manage
Yeah, you go to
levels.
class and then
And
C
then-
plus.
Okay.
Yeah, you get +5.
Make
And
sure
that's
you,
it. That's all you gotta do.
make sure you manage your health though, because it doesn't. I don't think it automatically goes.
And then you add spells. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and all of our skills go up too.
Do they?
Hey, Jack.
Well, yeah, because the proficiency bonus. So
Oh yeah. Now I have a +6 to my strength.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
It means Roz has a +8 to his athletics.
Does that give us our health back or no?
Yeah.
We're taking a long rest, yeah.
Damn, look at that. 60 HP, boys.
That's right. You max out your
So
HP
lucky
every
we're
round or
ranged.
something, right?
Oh hell yeah, that's my only saving grace 90% of the time. What's up?
You get max HP at every level or something. Yeah, that's great.
What distance is actually lucky?
Well,
Is
yeah.
that distance is lucky that because I hit him with both of those attacks. The first, no, you, right? It was you.
Hmm?
Nah, I hit you first.
Oh yeah.
I rolled so bad, like, cause that attack was 3d8 plus 6 for each club.
Damn.
And the first roll I hit you with 2 of them. I only did 19. The second one I missed one and still did 19. Like I missed an attack and did 19. The
This
first
man
one
did
would have
5 million damage on me. I'm glad it was
The
me
monk
than
hit
anyone
die
else.
is now a D6 instead of a D4.
Hey, that's what's up.
And I get second strike and stunning strike.
Nice.
I get extra attack now though, so I
Yeah,
can attack
extra
twice.
attack.
too, man. Fuck
We
yeah.
all get extra attack.
So the cool thing about mine though,
No, you get Spirit Guardian from.
but if I can kill somebody with either one of my 2 attacks because they're a great weapon fighter, I get attack again as a bonus action. So technically, I can attack 3 times in a round.
And you do like 94 damage.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Action Surge, I can attack 4.
If I even land an attack, just not even including my Divine Fury, I get 2d6 plus 7 for each attack.
Noise.
So that's twice.
Now I've got 33 health.
Okay.
If we choose to roll for our health, how do you handle that? Is it just one straight roll?
Yeah, it's your roll plus your Constitution modifier.
Yeah, I just know if you like
And then if you roll a 1, you re-roll it. That's just like in the thing.
Alright, so what are you guys deciding to do? You can explore, we can...
Alright, so what did I miss when I was taking a piss?
I told you about the portal, right?
Yeah, so there's a portal where the statue was.
Right, all the doors are open. Boddynock went out to lay in the grass.
Actually,
what?
I did remember that I need me friends, so I'm gonna actually head outside. And since I am kind of tidy, even though I lived in a hovel back in the city, I'm actually gonna, while I'm out there getting my animals, I'm gonna change into one of my clean sets of traveler's clothes.
Okay.
Get Jimmy while you're out there.
Oh, and while I'm out there, I'm gonna tell Jimmy to come on in because you know all the dangerous shit's over, and he needs to stop being a bitch.
I know you just won it against a grown man earlier, but
He was 9. Technically, like 16.
I need to go.
19.
Yeah.
We're gonna go around. I need to know. So, Akalius, what's your armor class currently?
Still 15.
Still 15. Distance?
13.
Gorram, 18 plus 2, right? Or is it?
Same, yeah, I don't think it changed.
It's just 20?
Yeah.
Because you have your shield? Okay.
Right.
Roz?
Same.
It's 20. Boddynock, you're still 13.
13.
Okay. Now HP for everybody. Akalius?
60.
Distance?
33.
Okay. Gorram?
I'm not sure. Nobody rolled for their HP.
I just take my standard one,
Yeah,
but plus, because you can take the standard, but you can roll for it too. I mean, that's up to you.
Yeah.
You can take the risk. Mine's just a 10
Roz, what's yours?
up every time, so it's too good
40,
to not pass.
44.
So what's the standard for a D8?
What do you mean?
Isn't there like a standard, like if you choose not to roll?
It should say in your class.
Yeah,
you
it should say
say
well.
like you can.
You are a 1d8.
Right, so 1D8.
Right, you can
And then
roll
1d8
it,
plus
but if
your
you decide
constitution.
not, but if you decide not to,
Right.
it's a standard what?
Yeah.
Half plus 1, so you
So
get a
5.
5.
You
5
can take
plus
5
your
plus,
constitution.
or you can roll for it and possibly get 12.
I'll roll. 6. Well, plus 2, 8.
8.
Yeah, so there you go.
8.
It's better than what you would have.
So that would
Yeah.
put you at what?
That'll put me at 41.
41.
I need to. One of these times I'm gonna try it because mine's a D12
What's your
plus
HP?
my constitution, so I can
33.
technically get 15.
Okay. And did anybody's speed go up?
Mine is now 35 instead of 25.
35. Is everybody else's the same?
Mine's actually 700.
What is it actually?
We're
45.
gonna- Yeah, it's 45. We're gonna run a marathon in one turn.
Look at that. If I would have done that on my roll, I would have got 15 health.
Jesus.
I'm gonna try next time with mine just because I'm so far ahead in health.
Oh, yeah.
Might as
All
well. Worst case scenario is I just get moved in.
All right, party members.
Let's get a plus
You have found the first celestial weapon.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Congratulations, one of 5. You're currently sitting in the giant stone garden in the chamber, aside from Boddynock, who was out in the grass. Changing. Or wait, you went out to the front, right?
I can say I'm finished changing now, and I
Yeah,
came back
okay,
in with Jimmy and my pets.
All right, Jimmy and
You
the pets are now
change in
back.
front of a little boy, you fucking weirdo.
I'm also a little boy.
What would you all like to do?
Did we check see if there's anything around?
He looked for loot. He couldn't find any
Okay.
in this room.
I look through the portal.
You can't see anything.
Through the portal?
You can't see anything. Are you stepping into it?
I like put my head in it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
You can't see anything.
like what my head's inside the portal.
No, your head. If you put your head inside, it's just you're putting your head into blackness. You can't see anything.
Is it?
Walk through
You can
it.
walk through it.
That's what a portal is.
Would you like to walk through it?
I'm gonna push him through it.
I'll go through that shit.
You're
Let's
going
do
to-
it.
Okay. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. So Roz steps through the portal and disappears.
God damn it.
Alright, are we all following?
Rerolling character.
God damn it.
Alright, let's leave him here. Let's go.
I wanted to take a look around the room before we leave. Is that possible?
Avoid the right
Perception?
side.
Perception? You want to look around the entire thing?
No, just
Or
the
just
room
this
that we're
room?
in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like peeking at the
Yeah.
houses and whatnot.
Huh?
12,
I'm not gonna tell you yet,
2,
but
14.
you're okay.
Yeah, you're okay, but we're leaving you again. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
So you're looking around. You see the empty coffins, the sarcophagus. You know you can see the giant book, the portal. There's nothing of value as far as like the loot goes. You see the crumbled stone giant in front of you. Some ashes, some bones.
Oh, so the portal
Some
did
blood.
disappear.
No, the portal's still there.
Oh,
he said
I thought you
you
said the
disappeared.
portal disappeared.
No,
as
no,
well.
I
was
said
like,
you
damn.
disappeared.
He said Roz disappeared.
No, I said
Oh,
you
okay.
disappeared.
One last thing,
Yes.
if possible. I would like to try to break the big toe off of the stone
Okay, go ahead.
statue.
Yeah, that would be strength.
Alright. That's my strength. 17.
Yeah, you can break it off.
Awesome.
Smash it down, take the toe.
You have a toe, now you have a finger, now you have a toe.
What would everybody else like to do?
Is there anything? I mean, obviously, other than the grass, is there anything that I can see that's like perhaps fibrous in nature?
Fibrous?
Yeah.
Like vines and stuff.
Like fibrous, like cloth?
I mean, cloth or organic, you know.
I mean, there's plants everywhere, moss, vines.
Ooh, there's moss?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd actually like to go grab some moss, and I'd like to swap out the nest on my head for a Jiminy and
Okay.
replace it with this nice fresh moss.
Sure. So you do that, and you have a brand new nest inside your hat.
Sweet. Jiminy would be happy.
However, Jiminy up there is perturbed because there's a hole in your hat that's letting light in.
Yeah, actually, Gorram, are you cool with mending my hat?
I think you went to the bathroom.
Oh, damn it. I need Gorram to mend my hat.
Who the fuck are you and where's your hat?
I have mending as well that I can do.
Ooh, Distance, would you like to mend me hat?
I rolled a 25 against the Balrog.
As I'm mending
You failed.
Say what?
No, it doesn't hit.
I'm on a mountain.
As I'm mending your hat, Jimmy is behind me and just walks through the portal,
Jimmy?
following Raz.
Oh,
Yeah.
God!
No las. Nah, I follow him anyway.
You going in too?
Might as well, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So once I get done mending the hat, we kind of realize that Jimmy's going through it, so I have to go. in.
Yeah, I go after Jimmy.
Okay, so Jimmy walks through. Before you go in, because y'all, come on, work together here. You can now speak Celestial.
Okay, can I read anything celestial anywhere?
Yeah, there's celestial markings, words, names all over the place. Don't you have something to read?
The sword?
The journal.
Oh yeah. Before we embark on this, before Raz would have left, I would have taken the journal from him.
Oh, fuck no, bro. Oh, no, man. I'm gone!
I said before. Because
Uh-huh.
now that I can read celestial, I took the book.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And now I'm reading
That
it.
sounds like metagaming.
That sounds like a lot of
Super.
metagaming to me.
I'm so annoyed.
Hardcore.
I'm so annoyed.
Oh, that'd
You
be
know what
metagaming.
happened?
That would have been what my character would have done. I would have metagaming.
I'm going to allow it only because I fucking wrote out a journal entry to read.
I mean, it's what I would have done anyway. That was the
You
whole-
just see my character as a big, huge, like, in the sky just...
that
So
was the entire
Akalius
point of me reading
seeing
celestial.
Jimmy disappear
Well,
through the
crowd.
disappear through the portal. Jimmy's gone. Roz is now gone. Akalius pulls out the journal
Pull it out.
and reads the next journal entry, where the bookmark was, which reads,
Let's
"Back
go,
to the
Roz.
city you must go. Through the depths, party in tow. Find the one who controls their dreams. He holds the weapon, but not what he seems."
Say it one more time.
Through the city you must go, party in tow.
I thought it was to the city.
It's back to the city you must go.
This-
Through the depths, party in tow. Find the one who controls their dreams. He holds the weapon, but not what he seems.
Alright, so...
I rolled a 21 against Sauron.
You're absolutely right. I'm gonna... With the remaining party members I have, I guess, the ones that literally know nothing... Oh no, Gorm's with me.
Worm is there, Distance is still there, Boddynock is still there.
I thought Distance left with
I walked
Jimmy.
through the portal.
Yeah.
Oh, you did too? With
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah, he went there after you mended my hat.
Oh, I thought you just walked Jimmy through.
Jiminy's really happy though.
I
so
have
that's
the
what
two
matters.
most reasonable people in the group with me, so it's fine.
So Distance is gone, he disappeared through the portal.
I'm
You guys,
gonna,
you guys are silly. You're just like walking through portals. Like you have no idea what it is.
I'm gonna
Haven't
talk
read
to
anything.
I'm gonna talk to my real peeps, my dwarven and my small peeps.
You guys are lucky I didn't set that.
For all
portal
you
up
know,
in
it
this thing.
could be the freaking elvish bathhouse of gilded gold.
Yeah, yeah. It could also be like the devil's hell pit somewhere out in like
Alright.
the middle of nowhere.
So back to what I was saying.
15 against the devil.
All right, I'm gonna talk to Gorram and I'm gonna pull you guys in and kind of ask for your feedback on what you think it means. So what do you guys think of this?
Fuck, I know.
We did come from a city, so perhaps we should go back to the city.
That's what I was thinking too.
And the depths, we did come through a bunch of caves and, through a weird winding mountain, so perhaps we should go through there.
Does say party in toga, so we should probably get these losers that walk willy-nilly.
But who's to say that if we all go through, we won't be able to come back?
What, do I see anything yet?
You have no communication, so what you could see or couldn't see doesn't matter.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. No.
What do you guys
I
want
don't
to
want to step in that fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't like that, honestly. I'm a super adventurous little guy, but I also kind of know, I stick with earthly shit. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking forest.
Okay.
I'm not just jumping through portals.
I got this. 27 against the Witch King.
As the three of you are sitting around the portal discussing on what to do, you suddenly hear the and you just see Roz's finger and hand stick through the portal and go and then stick out.
Actually, I go.
I grab it and break his finger.
Sure.
Oh, that's a
Broken finger.
What's in
I'm gonna grab his hand though and pull him back
It
through.
was too fast.
He's not fast, he's slow.
No, it was too fast. You reached his hand through, you just saw his hand pop through, and your guys are kind of over here a little bit. And so you see his hand and you just see him go like this, summoning you, and then his hand pops
Are there
back
any
through.
rocks around me, like small rocks?
Sure, there's
Some
stone rocks
rubble
everywhere.
from the big
yeah,
stone rock.
absolutely.
Okay.
You crush
I'd like
distance
to pick
again,
one
he
up.
dies.
I'd like to pick up a small rock and throw it through the portal.
Okay, dex save for me.
It's a 5.
You throw the rock through the portal, which zoop out the other side and smacking Roz in the head. It takes 3 bludgeoning damage.
Ah! Do I hear that?
No.
Okay, so not hearing any sort of report or seeing anything come back, I'd like to throw another rock through the portal.
Dex save for me.
Just keep throwing them.
What the fuck is that? Oh, 7.
So heaving another small rock through the portal, you just hear a zoop, and then Roz takes another 3 bludgeoning damage.
I heard that.
No.
Alright, I'm just gonna wrap up the journal.
Has
now.
anything happened since...
I fire a crossbow bolt through the portal.
Dex save for me.
Okay.
Just
I get
throw back the
advantage
rock.
on these. Not that one. That is an 11.
Not throwing the rocks and not hearing anything. You on the other side hear a whoop, and a crossbow bolt comes through the portal and just smacks you in the shoulder, and you take 3 piercing damage.
Alright, I'm gonna just walk
Guys, I think they're okay over there.
Alright, I'm gonna take my journal and I'm gonna place my sword and just march my way through there.
So Akalius walks through and goes whoop, and disappears.
I just got sucked on.
Alright. I'm gonna look over at Gorram and just be like, here we go.
Fucking idiot.
I'm gonna stick my sword through it and then keep pulling it in and out and pull it in and out.
Now these are, the same folks who trusted a goblin.
Including you two.
We were too smart for that. We just kind of went along with it.
Will that make you dumber?
Yeah, maybe.
It means we're not leaders, not stupid.
Well, now that I'm in there, what can I see that I'm in here?
I'll take out my ration and start eating.
Can't see anything yet.
It seems like
I mean, you can see plenty, but you
seems
don't
like
know
they're
yet.
fine over on the other side. I mean, like,
Alright, what do I see on the other side because they're not coming?
God damn it, man.
I put my head through the portal and it's like bruised and like you see bumps. And I'm like, I swear to fucking God. Whoever throws another rock at me, now get your asses in here, you gotta see this. And I'll come back. Okay.
I'd like to pick up a rock.
Alright, dex save one more time.
Oh my fucking God. 19!
Alright. You hear the whoop, and then a dex save.
Goes right back.
So, like, if
Did you not learn your lesson?
if I have advantage, does a crit fail count as like a
No,
crit
no.
fail? Okay,
Just
cool. So I got an 8.
Yeah. The rock, you throw it through and it goes, whoop, and then it just immediately goes whoop, back and hits you in the
I
forehead.
really hope we have nothing to fight coming forward because you're gonna have like
3 bludgeoning damage.
You guys are gonna be down health.
So you've taken 6. You've taken
I am down
5.
the health I just gained from the level up.
Yeah.
The 2 of you are still standing
Oh,
outside.
fuck it. Alright. I'm just gonna hop through.
Okay.
Yeah, let me go through.
Boop, boop. All 5 of you, well, 6 of you are now. You took your pets with you as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're with me.
Okay. The 6 of you are now standing.
I'll stand by the entrance of the portal. With
The portal is just this.
No. Like as before they like walk through, just like this with my sword, waiting for Boddynock to come through.
How's he know it was me?
The 5 of you are all now standing on the other end of the portal. And as soon as the last person through, who was Boddynock with Sasha, comes through, the portal and disappears. You're standing in what looks like a very dimly lit library chamber cellar. There's torches on the walls, bookshelves, 2 different bookshelves, 2 desks, 2 tables, no chairs. There's books and scrolls strewn about the tables. It looks almost like a den, but there's something definitely off about it, just with the amount of light that's in it. It's very dark. It's very ominous, and it definitely feels more evil than anything else. Before you're able to act, something moves on the other end of the room. And the room's probably about like 20 by 20. It's very small. Something moves on the other end of the room, and you see a older gentleman turn around to face you. He's tall and frail. You immediately recognize him. Not you. He does. He immediately, Akalius immediately recognizes this person.
Was this the same tall, frail man that I once met in a monastery?
It was.
Interesting.
I approach him.
The old man. Before you're able to move or speak or do anything, he turns to you. He's wearing like a golden dress, a golden. It's not like a dress to say. It's like a cloak almost. Yeah, and it's kind of tight around the neck up to his chin. You can tell he's like he's very old and wrinkled, very frail, bony fingers, and he has his hands in front of him like this, and he almost looks pleased to see you all.
Who is this?
The construct or the
selector?
Yeah, the selector.
Okay.
He eyes each one of you, one at a time, and he speaks. At last, you have come.
Oh, thank God.
But you
some tea.
do not know what you are in for. And I'm afraid I will not get the chance to get to know any of you. He will be very pleased you came all the way to my doorstep. On the other hand,
I didn't want to do this.
maybe I will get to deal with you personally. That is, if you make it out of here alive. And he vanishes.
I try to leave out of there alive.
You fail.
You're dead. Roll the character.
And just as soon as you saw him, and he delivered those unsettling words, he vanishes from your sight. And you're left standing in the small 10 by 20 room.
Do I see any doors, windows?
There is one giant wooden door up and to the right.
You said the portal disappeared?
Portal has disappeared.
Do we see anything of worth?
No valuables at all. There, like I said, there are books and scrolls on the table.
What type?
Oh, I would like to search for spell scrolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What is it? What type of books and/or scrolls are around?
It's a 7.
That's a 7. You see a scroll on the table that seems familiar to you, and it's called. You pull it up and you kind of open it, and it just reads "Purple Scroll." And you're not sure what it does, so you just keep unfolding it, and just nothing is happening.
I like the scroll. I'll keep it.
Okay.
Somewhere there's a
You add to your inventory a purple scroll.
somewhere there's a tabaxi that's very happy about.
Can I use it now?
I'd
You
like
try.
to.
I open the purple scroll.
It does not.
I'd like to roll perception.
Okay.
And do like just a generic scan of the room and
Okay.
kind of see like everything I can possibly see.
Okay. So from what's already been described, that's pretty much what you can see. You don't even
And
have
I'd like
to roll.
to pay specific attention to the books.
Okay. Go ahead.
Crit fail.
Maybe it's the dim light or the smoke from the torches on the wall, but the more you try to focus on the table in front of you, the less you're able to see of it. It kind of just is like very blurry. Maybe you haven't drank enough or something. Maybe you're like in that weird state of not drunk or too sober. Not really sure, but
It has happened before.
you're unable to discern anything.
I want to walk up to the bookshelves and see what type of books they are.
There are all sorts of books about the arcane magics, the underworld spells, general evil topics. Anything from the top 5 ways to overtake a country to how to phase shift in and out of planes. I mean, just the general things.
Planes?
Oh. The general things that somebody evil would read.
Planet Conquering for Dummies.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta find your match.
So there's really nothing that I can see that's no books that stand out or anything that I can pull. Maybe
You want to roll perception for me? 13. So you're looking around at the bookshelves. Something catches your eye on one of the desks, and it's a scroll that looks like it's been handwritten recently. Maybe under the light of one of like the candelabras that's like sitting on the desk, you kind of like it just catches your eye, and you open it, and it's written in some sort of like a language that's almost like dots and dashes, but it is kind of raised up off the paper,
So
almost as if it's braille. Yeah.
I try to read the braille.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's no one here that can read this, right?
Dot 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 dash dot.
Or feel this.
Oh my god. I actually kind of want to take a look outside the door.
You like to go to the door?
Well, like.
Okay, so you open the door. You open the door and you see a corridor. It's kind
Anything
of
in the
dark.
corridor?
It's kind of dark though. You can't really see.
The coast. There's nothing there.
Distance and Gorram, would you like to do anything in the room?
I want to look for a book on transferring a soul from one body to another.
Okay. Investigation.
Please, natural 20.
Please. 3.
Okay. You search the bookshelves looking for a book specifically on how to transfer souls. You pick one up that you think might be of interest, and maybe you misread the title, but it's a book on how to transfer food from bowl to bowl. Yeah.
I'm just gonna look around. Is there anything that might spark my interest? Or anything?
Yeah. Roll a perception. 20?
Yes.
Oh. There's a scroll directly in front of you on a table that is has been unrolled and pinned on the table.
What is it?
Would you like to read it?
Yeah. What
Okay. So you walk up to the table when you take a look at it, and it's in common, and it is detailed instructions on the how the Selector and his conscripts are turning the citizens of St. Palatia into undead whites.
Well, that's racist.
Nice.
I'd like
I guess
to.
I'm gonna roll it up. Take it.
Okay.
I'd like to see if I can find a book on transferring food from bowl to bowl.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're all bad, you'll get one for soul to soul.
15.
A 15. You search the bookshelves looking for a cooking book. Maybe you misread it, but you come across one that is on how to transfer a soul from body to body. And you pick that one up.
Oh, damn. Hey! Anybody want to transfer souls? I'm looking how to transfer food, though. You guys want to trade?
Does Distance want to trade?
I would.
I don't know what you need this for, but here you go.
Some casual reading.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask Gorram and Dwarvish if he found anything interesting.
Okay.
I described the scroll.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll just say it out loud to the class.
Okay.
So that way, yeah, so everybody knows kind of like that. We can kind of get an idea of what's going on here.
Oh my god, that's racist.
So the more that Gorram looks at the scroll, the more he's able to discern that the one that's called the Selector has been basically capturing the citizens of St. Palatia and torturing them and turning them into wights. Now, maybe not all of you are familiar with what that is, but I'm going to give some of you the benefit of the doubt that have probably been in mountainous areas, dwarves, etc. Maybe you have fought these creatures before.
Seen Game of Thrones.
You don't know what that is.
Oh yeah. Also, I haven't seen the episode, so don't say shit.
What? Sorry for all the memes that are Discord.
So basically, the citizens are being turned into an undead army, and they are the ones called the conscripts. Which is why when you ran into them, they were wearing hooded cloaks because wights are not able to be in sunlight.
It's like drow almost.
I suspect turtleneck.
I'm actually gonna talk to Boddynock and ask him if any of this makes sense to him because he was here for some time before we came.
Be careful though. He might be one of them.
I think I can.
Oh
help
yeah.
myself.
Seeing as how I lived around there, do I have? We never talked about this. Do I have history on the Selector and kind of when he showed up?
Yeah, like you know of him, but you were never you were around the religion and kind of like left it maybe either right as he showed up or right at the very beginning, so you don't really know much about him specifically or his plans. Yeah, you know that like the city's has been pretty much under siege of the conscripts, and there's been people going missing, and there's people being tortured and killed, that kind of thing. So
I set up my base camp at their base camp.
Yeah, closest to the enemy. That's where they least expect.
So, let's see. Well, it may not be the time, but I suppose I could delve into my tale a little bit. You see, I traveled from afar when I was a wee lad, and one thing led to another, and a group of birds carried me over to St. Palatia. And, that's a story for another time.
Okay.
But,
I was hoping that was a story for now.
I'll squint my eyes and be like,
You can't hide from me, evildoer.
and I'll pull out my scroll.
Behold his power!
And I'll open my purple scroll.
It does nothing.
Damn it!
Why did you all bring him along?
He followed us.
Yeah, I feel like we couldn't get rid of him. He's like a fungus.
My mother used to call me a leech.
It's like one of those weird black things that keeps attacking me.
Whoa, bro. Come on.
Whoa!
Whoa, it's 1492.
Ginger.
But anyway, I arrived on the outskirts of St. Palatia, a young, naive gnome, and I wanted to know about these newfangled people I'd met. And so I talked to some of the townsfolk, and they told me the best way to learn about them and their culture was to go to the monastery and start to learn. So I did. I learned about Paladine and all their fancy works, and some time passed, and I started to realize that what I read was not what they were doing. It didn't seem to really line up. I questioned the leaders of the church, as to why. Hold on, let me get a drink real quick.
So does this make sense to you that this could be the scroll? Does it make sense?
Yes. Long story short, it definitely makes sense that they're fucking things up. You see, the reason I left is because they were becoming tyrannical and they weren't following the ways of their own religion. And
Yeah,
I decided to act against them. And as such, I was exiled from the church, and naturally, I made my hovel at the church.
Naturally, of course. Yeah, I can tell when they attacked me when I went to question them about their methods, so it does make sense that there is some kind of corruption going on here.
They're a bunch of shites, yes.
I really wanted to deal with this, but we didn't have time before, so maybe it is fate that we're back here.
Back where?
Obviously, we're in the town of the scroll.
Damn, I hope that alchemical guy
Are we?
is a zombie.
We
Doesn't
came
make
through a
sense.
portal.
Makes sense.
You think we're in the city?
Could be.
Do you think we're below the monastery?
Could be.
That would be interesting now, wouldn't it?
We don't know.
Some fancy magic
The
there.
one thing I know is there's one door out and there's...
You know, it's funny, I left something in my hovel. I could probably pick it back up if we're there. I wonder if it's still there.
So what you're saying is, we gotta kill some zombies! I'll kick open the door and be like, Selector!
Okay.
Yes, please go first.
Alright, so Roz kicks open the door to the small cellar study that you have seen to been in. And you find yourselves... Just one.
Ooh.
You find yourselves
Ooh!
in a dungeon.
Are those bars?
Are those bardic inspirations?
Ross stands at the front of the doorway, and what he can see, well, we're gonna say that you're right here. Okay, you're right here. This is the doorway. There is a small, like a tunnel around the outside of what looks to be a giant stone room, and a doorway right in front of you that's open, like an archway.
Do I see anything in those things?
At the end of the archway, this is about 40 feet long. At the end of the archway, you see two white guards standing at the opposite end of the door.
Do they look tough to me?
Do they look tough to you?
What kind of armor are they wearing?
They're wearing heavy armor.
They're wearing heavy armor?
Ish. You can't really see. It's dark.
Do they see me?
They do not see you yet.
They do not see me yet. Where are the guys at?
The guys are behind you, and they haven't left the room yet.
How far are they behind me?
5-10 feet.
Just gonna start walking towards the door.
Okay. What you can also make out is that to your left and right, all the way up to the whites, are cells.
Are there anything in the cells?
Well, you can't see further down. Directly to your left is a disheveled citizen. He's wearing like raggedy clothes. He's got grayish silver hair, and he's laying on the floor. He notices you right away, and he seems frightened, and he is trying to shush you.
Why are you trying to shush me?
As Roz yells, for whatever God knows reason, the whites at the end of the hall in the dungeon see him, and their eyes perk up, and they start to move towards him. And we're gonna do all new initiative.
Fuck yeah. Okay, let's see that big shiny.
Saw that.
Come on, I'm leading. Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what you get for yelling in a dungeon.
It's my character, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what you get. That's what you get for yelling. You're gonna end up with a.
I'm imagining like my guy looking like the guy in the vine that goes.
What did everybody have?
Oh yeah.
What are you, nat 20s? Okay.
Bro.
Why does this keep happening?
Because you keep like rolling.
What else am I supposed to do?
10? Distance?
19.
Okay.
17.
Oh, wait, that's...
Why'd you exhale sadly?
I
What?
have plus 3, so 22.
Oh, okay. Nice.
+3
17.
modifier.
17 to Boddynock?
Yeah.
And you said you had a, what was that for?
10.
10. Okay, cool.
These whites, what are they wielding?
The whites have, well, you can see that they have swords in their hands, but they also have a bow on their back.
Now
Okay,
that
no
I'm,
shields?
now that I'm with, like, next to him, can I see what's to the right of us in cell number 2?
Yes. No, so wait, are you standing in the doorway with him?
Yeah, because I said I was following him, so technically I'd be behind him. So I'd be in the same, like, square area. I'm, like, through the door, so I can see, like, I'll just say I'm here, so. I am level 5 and I'm super excited.
Where's everybody else?
I'm falling right up
Are
behind him.
the
Okay.
gates open? I mean, the cells open?
No,
or closed?
everything, all the cells are locked at the moment.
Do I see anything to my right? In cell
Yes,
number 2?
in the cell to the right of you, there is a citizen who looks mostly turned.
Turned over.
Yeah, he's
Um,
pretty much dead, but still twitching and alive.
the cell number 1, do I recognize him from the town we were in there before?
No, you don't. You don't recognize him, but he's fully cognitive,
So he's not turned
and he's
yet?
whispering towards you. He's trying to get you to be quiet. However, Roz was too loud, and now he's muttering things to himself like that. You've really done it now, etc., etc.
I'm gonna tell him
He's
to
upset.
relax. We'll handle this.
Okay. Distance. It's actually your turn to act.
Yeah, I'm going to stay back in the room that we were just in. But I'm going to tap Akalius on the back and say, go get him, buddy, and give him a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So we're just gonna pretend like, alright, so anybody that's still back here is gonna be back here. Boddynock, where are you? Are you still in the room?
I mean, I said I was following him,
Okay.
so.
And then Gorram
I'm also doing the same following.
following. Okay, so you guys are right there. Alright, so do you all want to pile into this hallway?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And distance is staying in the back. Okay. And Akalius, it's your turn. And the whites are now like right.
Okay, so
How
I can
far away are they?
It's a 40 foot. So 10. Each cell is 10 feet.
Okay.
So I mean you're
like 20 feet.
yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to Rajay.
Mm-hmm.
So as I rage, you're gonna see my new form. So as I rage, my sword glows insanely. My wings come out, and then I get some nice sick tattoos.
Now I think he's just showing off.
Let's see what this baby can do. I'm gonna.
You guys get mad at me for yelling at me, Jesus.
I am. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna run forward,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to attack. Use my first attack on this guy here. I'm gonna attack recklessly, because why the fuck not? That's a 27 to hit.
Okay, that is.
And then I'm gonna attack the same guy twice.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
Okay, it's.
Alright, so in the first attack I'm gonna use my Divine Fury because I can use it on my first attack of the round. So oh, I have a question. Because my Divine Fury is half my level.
Mm-hmm.
Would that technically be 3 now for the Divine Fury? Because when I was at level 3, we made it 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Somebody whispering 666. That was a little weird.
I have all 6s, so
Oh,
that's
it was
why
you.
I was like
Okay.
doing like the.
I was like,
Well, you guys are in a pretty evil place. So.
Also, this encounter is probably going to have to be my last thing for the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's 22 on my first attack,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna
22.
yeah 22
What kind of
damage.
damage?
Well, radiant and slashing.
So how much of each?
22. So 7 of it was radiant.
Okay.
And then the other bit, 15 of it was slashing.
Okay, so it takes half slashing.
Okay.
So it's gonna take what? 14.
Alright, so I'm gonna attack it again.
Okay.
Already landed, so I just have to do the damage.
Mm-hmm.
7. That's what the half did. 14 damage, so it'll be 7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
So 21 total.
Yep, 21 total.
And where'd you hit it?
I'm just gonna go straight for the shoulder, like shoulder down. So I'm gonna
Okay.
swing hard, land, and then I'm just gonna reset and swing again at the same shoulder.
So as you slash down through the leather and kind of maybe like chain armor of the white in front of you, it definitely feels the damage, but it seems to be almost able to shrug some of it off. Like you're able to tell that you didn't really do the much damage as you could have.
That's fine. And that will end my turn.
Okay, now Boddynock. It's your turn to make 2 acts.
I'd like to open this door.
Which door?
This door.
There's a turned guy in there.
A what?
A turned one, so it's like one of those guys, but just like a human.
You'd have to. It's technically locked, so you'd have to roll a strength check to open that cell.
Wait, it's a cell? We can see into it?
Oh yeah, it was a.
Yeah.
a,
These are all cells. That's why these are all like dotted. These are all bars.
Yeah, there was a turned guy.
Those are 8. Those are 8 like jail cells.
Oh, never mind then. I don't want to bother with that. Okay, well. So what is that? Probably about 30 feet?
For you, yeah, you're right at the door.
You know what? I am going to run at the same one that Akalius is attacking.
Okay.
And I'm going to whack him in the knee with my shillelagh.
Okay. Which knee?
The right knee.
Okay. Is there any other
And
knee?
afterward, I'm going to use my second attack, my newly discovered second attack,
Okay.
to thrust my shillelagh right into his jaw.
Ooh, I like it.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to do an unarmed strike into his torso. So that'll be my combo. So
Okay.
whack, jab, pop,
Nice.
like that.
Alright.
I like it.
That's the idea.
Now let's hit.
Alright, let's fucking do it. That is a 21 for the first one.
That's gonna hit.
Alright. That is a nat 20.
Hey, fuck
And
yeah.
that is an 11.
11 does not hit.
Alright, dude. I will
Sick.
take those first two, though. And now it's a d6.
Yeah, so you roll the first shillelagh, and then you roll the second one with damage or whatever.
So that's a 6 plus 3. That's a 9.
Okay.
And then the second one, I double it. That is a 3 plus 3, 6. So 12 plus 9 is 21 damage.
Okay. 21
Yeah.
total. So it's
21
gonna-
total.
So it's gonna take 11 total damage.
11 total damage, and I am afterward going to do a backflip
Okay.
and then turn around and run over here.
Stunned by your first 2 flurry of attacks, maybe that's the reason why you missed your third, because it kind of like threw it off balance, and you were so fast that it was not in the same space as what you should.
Couldn't keep up.
Yeah, its body moved too fast out of your way, but it definitely it falls backwards slightly, just a little bit farther away from Akalius, maybe a few feet, and is definitely stunned at that point. That ends your turn, right? You're flipping back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did I say anything about a stunning strike on that one?
No, you didn't.
Okay. Good.
Good. Do you have
It's
that?
not time yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 5, bro. Fuck yeah.
So the white, reeling from the attack from the small gnome, regains its constitution and charges at Akalius, being the closest enemy near it. And it swings down with his long sword, slashing across your chest, dealing 6 damage, which is slashing, so it's going to be 3. It, seeing that the sword pretty much didn't
bounce it off my peg.
Yeah, you didn't really like sink in. It reaches out with his hand, and you can feel your body start to almost get cold and black through your rage, and it begins to drain your life. All right, you take 6 necrotic damage, and I need you to roll a Constitution save.
Yeah, you have advantage of those while raging. Well, natural 20.
So you're able to resist your total overall max HP being reduced, but you do take the 6 necrotic damage. And your radiant self being raged, and your giant golden wings kind of fighting off this black, the seeping black inside your chest as you're trying to fight off this necrotic damage from the life drain. And it's Gorham's turn to act.
So, Boddynock and Akalius both at the same one?
This one.
He's still standing with all the damage.
Well, he takes half damage to physical damage, it seems, because of the armor, I guess. Or
What did you do to him total?
20 something?
21?
Yeah, 21 total.
Okay, so he's taking 32.
I'm going to cast a spiritual weapon behind him.
Okay.
Careful your drink.
And attack the one that was hit already.
Okay. With advantage? Or I guess I don't really need to. I'm not supposed to be the one to tell you that.
You can,
I mean,
it doesn't,
I can.
doesn't matter.
12 plus 5. Wait, no. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 proficiency.
Okay. Yeah.
17. That's going to hit.
Alright.
Roll again though, just in case.
Just in case you get a 20,
12.
Same thing.
Nice.
Okay, so hits.
1d8 plus 2.
Hey.
Points damage.
And that's
Nice.
radiant, so it actually
10?
is
10 points of damage.
That's
Force damage.
Force damage, so yeah, it does 10 damage, so.
And then
It's force damage.
Force?
Yeah, because it's a spell technically, it's not a...
Okay, yeah, magic damage. Okay. It's the giant hammer, glowing behind the white, illuminates the hallway and just smashes down on its back, and it's really wounded.
Okay. I'm going to cast a guiding bolt at the other one.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, at this one.
Yes, at 2nd level.
Okay.
That is also a
Shit.
10.
10 is not hit.
Damn.
Okay.
Alright, that will be my turn.
Let's see. Okay.
Ross, please come help me.
Bathe in the glory alone.
Second. The white next to Akalius's left hand side charges forward and does the same thing, seeing the success of the life drain of the first. It slashes across your chest with its longsword, dealing another 6 damage, and then reaches out its hand to do the same thing. And you take another 6 necrotic damage, and I need you to roll another Constitution save.
22.
Okay. So your celestial rage, fighting off yet another life drain, is able to withhold the max HP drain of the white, but you still do take the 6 necrotic, and you just see this black spot in your chest just trying to spread, but the celestial light just keeping it at bay.
It's like a yin and yang just sucking me in.
Yes. And it is Ross's turn to act.
It's like a big necrotic hickey.
I'll go ahead and sword lightninging out. I'll go ahead and rush to Akalius' aid.
Okay.
Super, like, empowered, I guess, from the Stone Giant. I'm going to go ahead and use Action Surge.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and do 4 attacks.
Okay.
My
So,
man.
first one is the one right there.
Okay.
That's a 12.
12 does not hit.
Okay. Second attack. It's 18, so 25.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. I'll just
Just roll the rest of them.
yeah, well, I want to make sure that so first attack is that's a 10 lightning damage.
10 lightning damage. How would you like to kill that white?
Just slashing. I'll just go ahead right through the armor. Sing. Body just.
Okay, it crumbles into what looks like ice and bone.
Hell yeah. And then I'll turn my attention to the other one.
Okay.
And attack. Natural 20.
Okay.
And then the other attack is a 13.
13 does not hit.
Let's see a double on this one.
Yeah. That's good. So 24 lightning damage.
24 lightning damage. Okay. Where would you like to hit that one?
I'll just go ahead and straight, like, lightning strike through the chest.
Okay.
And then pull out with my foot.
It is incredibly wounded, but still standing. Distance, are you still in the other room?
Yes.
Can you roll perception for me?
Perception.
He's swarmed by a bunch of whites and he's taken.
So I was actually gonna ask about this. So, like on this one, I rolled a 4, but in my senses, it says that my passive perception is a 14. So does that mean that I can't get less than a 14?
No, passive perception is what you see normally, just like walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, if I'm asked to roll it, it's like, oh, it's a 4.
Yeah. That's because in that specific situation or scenario,
Yeah, you're like looking
you're
for
trying to
something.
find something. So
Okay,
you roll. So you rolled a 4.
Well, and then I got a +4 for my
So an 8.
So I did 8. 8
Okay.
perception.
Gorram, you're right at the doorway of the dungeon, right? Can you roll perception for me?
Sure. 10 plus 2, 12.
Okay. Well, at the very back, while you guys are fighting these 2 white guards, you hear like the clanking of armor. You in distance can hear the clanking of armor from somewhere down the hallways.
Down this hallway.
No, he's in the room right here. This is open. There's this hallway.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whenever we came across, it said there was like a kind of a pathway around here.
Okay.
And there are, from on this corner, you can see 3 white guards on patrol coming around this corner.
And they don't notice us yet.
No, because he's in this door and Distance is in this room, but you can hear them, and maybe Gorram is kind of like, he kind of like peeks around the corner, and he can see them just turning this corner right here. Distance is turned to act at this moment.
Let's see. I'm going to.
Close the door.
I was trying to. So, like, how much are we sticking with the actual components of spells?
What do you mean?
You don't have
Because,
a.
like,
No, he does.
What?
He does have a
well,
spell
like
casting
level
focus.
5, I got a new spell called Darkness that could make it where they wouldn't be able to see us, but I need bat fur and
Oh, yeah, you
a
need
piece
that.
of coal.
Yeah, you need that.
So I haven't
He
been
should have
able
a
to do any of
spellcasting
that yet,
focus,
so
Yeah, bards have a spellcasting focus.
Yeah,
It
he
does.
does. He means he has like an item that he doesn't have to use as.
It
Oh, okay.
replaces the need for
Yeah,
Need for me to
wizards
sell-
are
okay,
the
does he
ones
have-
actually need
do
them
you
to-
have that?
Yeah, bards get a spellcasting
Yeah, I
focus.
just was fucking around making a bard. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so you don't need that.
okay. I was just wondering. I don't think I'm gonna use that, but I was curious since I just leveled up.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm going to. Gorham's the one that's standing right in front of me, right?
He's in the doorway to the dungeon. He's across the hall. He's like across the hall from
I'm
you.
going to, while still staying back in that other room, kind of peeking across. I'm gonna go, Gorram, and
Gorram's seen him.
Just let him know to be careful about it.
Yeah,
and
Gorram
inspiration his way.
Gorram knows that they're there.
Okay.
You both can kind of see them. You can see them like down the hall.
Then I want to let's see. Basically hide
Okay.
or stealth.
Okay. Stealth check.
Just to make sure that they don't see, because I know all of my attackers are down at the other end of the hall. I don't want to be here alone, and if so I'm just gonna stay here and kind of hide.
All right. Stealth check for me. Actually, no. I'm gonna allow you because there's nobody around. I'm gonna allow you to hide. You're gonna hide. You're gonna hide in the shadows, maybe behind like where the bookshelves are. You and Jimmy are gonna hide in that room.
Yeah, I'm
Wait,
gonna go ahead and
transfer
throw the inspiration over to Gorram.
Okay. Akalius, it's your turn to attack.
Alright, I'm not going to attack this one. I'm also going to attack it recklessly, and I'm going to use my feet on this one.
Okay.
Your feet.
His feet.
Dwarf feet.
Dwarf
Alright,
feet.
well that doesn't hit.
They're very hairy.
I'm going to try one more time for the rolls for my second attack.
Okay.
Keep in mind.
Alright, and then I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration as well. Alright, so that is a 23 to hit.
Okay.
Alright, so that's going to do lots of damage. So. Where the fuck is my thing?
Keep in mind that as this fight has been going on, the occupants of the cells, which you haven't looked into every single one, but you hear shouting and like gnashing of teeth, kind of like growling and stuff like that. There's a lot of commotion coming from inside this room. Definitely have attracted the attention of the patrol outside.
Alright, I'm gonna do. Let me see. How does my feet work? Does it do just 10 damage, or is it like
Plus 10.
It's plus 10
I
damage.
just don't know like what type of damage it is.
It's the type of your weapon.
Yeah, plus whatever. So if it's with the sword, it's slashing. Yeah, it's plus 10 slashing.
Alright, so that's 9 radiant damage, and 22 slashing. So it's a little 31 damage, but it's 9.
21 slashing, so in half is 11.
11 slashing, so 20 damage.
Okay. How would you like to kill it?
So I'm just gonna kind of run up. I see it engaged with Roz as Roz is fighting it. As it comes to my aid, I'm just gonna go from the side, just wielding the sword, just glowing, just slicing it right in half through the armor. I'm kind of almost surprised by how much it does. It just cleaves it in half.
The white explodes into ice and bone, and the pieces go flying into the cells.
While I do that, do I see anything of note in any of the cells that I can see?
Absolutely. So from now, in a brief second, that you take a look around after you just smash through those 2 whites. In each cell there's occupants, and going down, the first cell here, like I said, is a citizen who just looks very dirty. He's obviously very tired, kind of beat up, tortured, bloody. Across the way here is another citizen that is 90% of the way being turned into a white. It's pretty disabled, like it's not like up and fighting, but it's definitely, groaning and yelling, things like that. Right here, there's a citizen that looks pretty much dead. Isn't moving at all. Just is kind of like, maybe it's even decaying, rotting. And across the hall there, this one is completely empty. There's nothing inside that one. Right here, there is another mostly turned 80%, 90% turned citizen into a white. This one looks extremely like it's ready to fight.
Agitated.
Like, yeah, it's at the doors, at the bars, just with its arms through, trying to claw at you as you're fighting the 2 guards. And then straight across there is another dead body. It looks like you can smell it from being right near the.
Can we tell if these ones are weaker than the guards or not?
inside the cell. In this cell, there's what looks like a woman laying on a bed, like a cot almost, in the very back. And as you turn and look across the hall here, there's another cot all the way in the back, and there's another figure laying on a cot in the back there.
A figure.
Can I
You can't
recognize
really tell.
any of the people in these cots? The woman or the whatever?
Are we in combat right now or no?
I mean, you have like, I'll say you have 10 seconds before the guards are going to come.
Knowing that wright's making noise, can I shove my sword through his head?
Sure, Trey, you can try.
Also, could this be our stopping point?
Yes.
It's like, I gotta work tomorrow.
So
I thought you had off tomorrow.
No, he does.
So 10.
Yeah, what is that, a 1?
No, that was rolling for my second attack. 10 for the first one.
Oh, okay, got you. Wait, why'd you roll 2?
2 attacks.
We're not in combat. I
Oh.
just had you to roll.
So 3 then. So
Okay.
7.
Okay.
Or sorry, 10. Sorry.
Yeah, you stab your sword through the bars into the white, but it just kind of sinks in through it, and it's still just ravenously clawing at the bars.
Is it making any noise still?
Yeah, it's very loud.
I'll go ahead and pull out my sword then.
Okay.
Do we know those ones are coming?
He hasn't said anything yet.
I don't have a turn.
Yeah. So I mean, we're technically out of turn. I mean, you can like whisper up to them or yell up to them.
There's more!
Okay. What would you like? I'm gonna ask you what you would like to do at this moment.
I'm gonna grab my holy symbol and cast Turn Undead.
Okay.
And that is a...
Should go up, so it should be 13.
Where are you casting it?
it's a 30-foot radius as far as I understand this.
Do you have to be able to see them?
Oh, they can see or hear me within 30 feet.
I mean, they can hear you.
Yeah, they can hear.
Yeah, they can definitely hear you. So you're inside the
Right.
Yeah.
So they
I'll let it
wisdom
happen.
saving throw a DC of 13.
And then they're frightened if not, right?
Is it wisdom?
It is wisdom. If they fail, since I hit 5th level, it becomes destroy undead. And that's not here. It's in here. 1 second.
If it's anything below your challenge ranking, it destroys
I
it.
think it's challenge rating of half.
That was just your level or below.
Yeah, that's from memory. Starting at 5th level, when an undead fails its saving throw against your turn undead feature, the creature is instantly destroyed if its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold, as shown in the destroy undead table. Cleric level 5, so destroy undead of 0, half or lower.
Which is
So 2.5.
if it's 2.5.
No,
or
it's
lower.
a challenge rating of half.
Yeah, half.
So a challenge rating level half.
Oh yeah, they're not.
Oh.
Yeah, 300.
But they're definitely turned though still.
Well, they're turned if they fail. They're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. All right, and what's the save?
Wisdom 13.
13. None of them fail.
Damn.
Unfortunately. Yeah, 19 and that 20 and then 17.
And then I'm just gonna move my spiritual weapon up towards me.
Okay. This is a door that you're standing behind. It's currently open.
Yeah, but wisdom distance is on the other side.
He is not on the other side of this door. He's in another room. So again, keep in mind this is a hallway, doorway, and then there's a doorway here with the cellar thing that you were in over here.
But they obviously know we're in.
That has a door on it.
So
He's
like
hiding.
A narrow four-way
Yeah, he's
section.
hiding. This door is open. This door is open.
Don't close the door.
I don't want to lock him out. Like, if they hear him or see him, then he's going to be facing all of them on his own.
As you guys are deciding what to do, the whites are moving closer, hearing all of the commotion inside this hallway.
Can I try something real quick?
Yeah.
Can I come over here and try making enough noise to get their attention through this hallway back?
You don't have enough time. Yeah, you don't have time to move that far. They're literally seconds from this door.
I'm just going to face the door. I'm not going to close it, but
Okay.
I don't want to close distance out of it.
Okay. And as Gorram turns to face the open doorway, looking across into the room from where you came, and knowing distance is over there hiding, the three whites turn the corner and are now staring into the hallway, and that's where we'll end it.
Do they look like the same guards as we just fought? Yeah.
There's no way for me to check if I can see who's in that cell there.
No.
Hey, who's in the cell there?
Get this, yeah.
Who that it be over there?
Who that coochie be?
It's Tyrion. He's alive.
Nice job, boys.
Level 5. Level 5.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week.
I got my weapon.